Hey, podcast pals. Dana here to give you a friendly reminder before we get to our award-winning podcast that now is the best time to get your furnace tuned up before we take a shot to the face with cold Minnesota weather. My pals at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning currently have same-day and next-day openings, but they won't last long. By the time October rolls around, if your furnace craps out, you'll be freezing your private parts off while dealing with side eye from your significant other and pets for not calling sooner. So give Standard Heating and Air Conditioning a call today. Check this out. You can save up to $70 on your tune-up with Standard Heating. Visit standardheating.com. That's standardheating.com to book today.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
Did something go sideways there again?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was trying to talk to you guys through the intercom, and it didn't look like you guys could hear me.
No, not at all.
Didn't hear you say a damn thing.
Maybe we've gone deaf.
I don't know.
Say something.
Hi.
I don't hear anything.
You don't hear
at
a
all.
thing? Okay.
Didn't hear a damn thing. But, all right. I suppose we're moving right along here as best we can. Welcome to the Wednesday version of the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. But it's actually our Thursday. Tomorrow is our Friday. 4-day work week. Kiss my ass if you don't like it.
It's a beautiful
Next
thing.
week, too. 4-day work week for us. If you don't like it, you can suck it.
So Tuesday's our Monday.
Tuesday, next week will be our Monday.
Yeah. Next Friday is our Friday.
Right.
Dana, write that down.
Back-to-back 4-day work weeks, that's what we're dealing with. Josh and I just got to experience a first 10, 15 minutes ago. A first for the both of us. And if you're thinking I'm referencing some kind of shared sexual experience, think again. We've tried everything. A lot of downtime in this radio studio, especially after 9 a.m. What I'm rapping about, this first-time experience, Josh and I just got to see what we look like as bobblehead dolls.
This is crazy how accurate these things are.
It is. Thanks to a listener by the name of I'll Try Anything Twice Jesus. A box was awaiting for us when we got here this morning, and I had one question. What's in the box? I hollered.
What's in the box?
It was very dramatic. We cracked it open, and by damn, there we find what we... Well, the first thing we found is what we believe to be semen.
I don't know how much... This must have took a while to accumulate all this semen for sure.
And also, in the box, 2 bobblehead dolls. One made out in the likeness of the one and only Cubby, and the other one made out to look like me. And like Josh was saying a minute ago, F me running. These damn things are as accurate as I could have ever imagined. I mean, Josh's bobblehead doll is so accurate, it looks worried about something, which is very true to life.
It's an anxious bobblehead.
I do have my typical I'm taking a picture right now face.
This is great. I've only ever seen one bobblehead doll made out to be just a regular somebody, not a famous athlete, not a famous rock star, not a famous television character. A friend of mine, Dougie, he was gifted a bobblehead doll a few years ago on his birthday, and he has it right behind, right at his bar in his home. He has it up on a shelf in his home, directly behind where he sits. So whenever I go to Dougie's place, it's always kind of fun to have a conversation with him face-to-face, and directly behind him is his own bobblehead doll. And that one was also just perfectly done. The same can be said about the ones we found in the box this morning. Right down to my crooked teeth and fully exposed, disgusting feet slapped into a pair of flip-flops. I don't know who I'll Try Anything Twice Jesus hired to create these damn things, but they're very skilled.
Yeah, and I think he added some stuff on his own.
What did he add on yours?
So I'm wearing a black Iron Maiden hoodie, and it looks like he might have added the Iron Maiden sticker perfectly.
Oh, wow.
And then he drew on some stubble for me.
Yeah.
And he's got my my dad's shoes with hiked up black socks. The attention to detail is awesome.
Camouflage shorts.
Yeah, camo shorts.
How do you call those again? Cargo shorts.
Yep, some cargo shorts. I got a backwards Twins hat, and it looks like he put a little Twins sticker on there, too.
Dude, I mean...
And now I don't even have to tell you guys if I agree or disagree with you. I can just grab my bobblehead and shake it one way or the other.
We thank you so damn much. I don't know how you did it, but these dolls look terrific.
Yeah, this is great.
What a summer we had, Josh. Our images immortalized on a State Fair T-shirt. We personally made a good chunk of money on that. They were the highest-selling State Fair T-shirt in the history of this radio station by far. A very well-done T-shirt. And now we're bobbleheads. We're finally getting what's coming to us.
Yeah, are we on our way out? Sometimes that's what it is. We're going to get a watch and a plaque pretty soon.
Is that how it works out sometimes?
I think so.
Well, like with baseball players, when they go to every single park, they get gifted something new in each place when they're retiring on their way out, a legendary player like, say, David Ortiz or Mariano Rivera.
But that's when you announce your retirement.
That's
we haven't
true.
announced Dick.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someone's about to announce it for us. By the way, they retired.
Take the sign, boys.
Nobody was more surprised than them.
I think that's just great.
Yeah, thank you again. I'll try anything twice, Jesus. You're a good man. This was awesome.
I don't know what a skill set this is. I never had any artistic talents. What about the rest of you?
Oh, absolutely not.
Not even close.
Remember when we've attempted to draw before on this year radio station?
That was
Josh?
Bad, yeah. Ashley's a very good drawer.
Oh, Ashley's
our coworker
incredibly
Ashley's
skilled.
a good artist.
Mm-hmm. She has artistic skills. A couple times here on the show, we've attempted to draw the likeness of somebody, and it's just, I don't know.
Well, there was one I couldn't do. We had a naked model.
Oh, what do you mean you couldn't do it?
Well, I couldn't stare at it. Remember, I drew a car.
Oh.
I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't I felt pretty creepy just staring at this lady drawing her most intimate of parts.
Typical Cubby. There's a naked lady in the studio, and he can't look at her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was, wow.
That was a pretty sweet car, though.
Well,
it was bad.
He didn't make much effort in drawing the car either, I think, because you were just so rattled and so nervous. That was many, many years ago. A gal, a local model, contacted us, and I think we were having the conversation about those, at least I've heard stories and seen it played out on television, a college drawing class where you draw a nude model.
I have a friend who was a nude model. She did that for some extra money.
This is the same gal who laid out on the floor with the sushi on her?
No, that's an ex-girlfriend. This was just a friend. She
was a nude model.
Yeah, she kind of had a niche where she was a nude model for like a college, and then she was a bride on a bunch of different bride magazines. She's a single lady, but they'd take a picture of a dress or whatever they were advertising in a bridal magazine.
Okay.
That was kind of what she did. For whatever reason, she fell into those two things, make a couple extra bucks.
So we had a naked model in studio, and we all attempted to draw her likeness to test our artistic skills. It was third-grade level garbage. I don't know. I remember taking a painting class in high school and, putting forth very little effort, a drawing class in high school and putting forth very little effort. But, if I would have had something to offer, I think I would have been able to, show some talent. There was none there.
I've tried. We used to draw like fighter jets and stuff like that in middle school and early into high school, and I got okay at a couple, but I'd have to draw the same thing. A friend of mine could have sold them. He was so good at drawing those. You probably could have flown one of them. It was so good.
I suppose, and you were passionate about fighter jets and
Very
whatnot.
much so, yeah.
So I suppose, that helps. I can say that when I was a first, second grade, third, I'll get there. How do you say that? When I was a first, second, or third grade kid, I think maybe I was above average at drawing football players in action. I loved drawing the logos of the different NFL teams on helmets. I was way into it when I was a little kid. So I thought I was pretty good at drawing a picture of a quarterback throwing a ball to a wide. I had some promise there because I was so passionate about that subject. But that was pretty much where it began and ended right there.
I used to, well, I guess me and some friends in a band, we would draw band logos for possible names.
Sure. Oh, you would draw up your possible band logo, not just writing down Def Leppard with their font.
Oh, we do that too, but it was mostly like that. The ones we really worked at were band logos. And I had my best one, and again, it was subpar to say the least, but my best one was where I'm like, we'll call ourselves Gemini.
Gemini.
And I made a really cool, for me, logo, and I was actually kind of proud of it. Like, wow, I usually suck, but this is okay. And then my bandmates were like, it's a possibility. They weren't super excited about it. And then we saw on City Pages there was a band called Gemini.
Right.
And so we couldn't even use the name.
Can you think of some other cool band names you were trying to come up with for your local group?
Shoot, I'm trying to think. We only had really maybe 3 options. I'm trying to, because I had Gemini, which was already out there.
Right.
I'm trying to think what my buddy Mike had. He was the best drawer.
But you settled on something about apples?
Our band name?
Yeah.
No,
Green.
We ended up joining a couple of brothers who they had their own band, and they were called the Green Onion Band.
Green Onion, sorry, not apples.
And then our fan base, which is essentially our parents, was the Onion Ring.
The Onion Ring.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
They would go to all our shows, our parents.
This is an interesting text from Folgers Can Jesus. He said, to me, you're passionate about naked women. You should be able to draw them decently. Yeah, I should, but I can't, dude. I can't. Oh, man.
Back to band names. When we were in middle school, and Nick, this will annoy you, but the most popular band was Blink-182 at the time.
They were never the most popular band, but go ahead anyway.
At our school, they were. And
they weren't even at your school, but go ahead.
Yeah, they didn't go to your... Are they the Pride of Eastfield?
They are the Pride of Eastview. But
Blink-182, sure.
Most popular, but they were huge at the time, and these 3 guys, they wanted to start a band, and they landed on the name Vision 301. So basically,
it was a direct...
so on purpose?
No, I think they just thought that would sound like really original,
A direct copy of Blink.
What's the 301?
I don't remember. Really.
Oh, okay.
But I thought that was funny. So blink like your eyes, and then vision with your eyes, 301 as opposed to 182.
Ah, man. My high school rock band was called TOA.
That stand for anything?
No, but we... we're happy to go along with whatever idea you might have.
A little mystery?
Well, that wasn't the goal. We went out and bought we started off as Sonic Fury. When we started this band in 10th grade, we were Sonic Fury, which was stupid, but very cliche and kind of rock sounding. So
throw 2 cool sounding words together and go for it?
Yeah, I believe maybe we saw the combination of words in the liner notes of a Motley Crue record or something. I think Motley Crue recorded a record. Maybe it was Shout at the Devil, maybe it was Theater of Pain. In the liner notes, it said, this album contains Sonic Fury. Okay, so 16-year-old stupid kids, we went with that. But then we went out and bought a legitimate PA system, Josh. We pulled together all our money and bought like a 1974 PA system.
By the way, if you're a young person listening and maybe you want to be in a band but you don't have the talent, buy a PA, they'll put you in the band. That's how it was when we were growing up.
True.
If you had the equipment, all right, we got to have this guy in the band because we need this.
If you had the gear, you were in. So we went and bought a PA system, and on the big speakers, TOA had been etched in, not etched in like by a drunk.
Stenciled?
Stenciled, yes. Something professional looking. I can't think of the. I'll go with stenciled. TOA was already printed on these amplifiers, so it looked somewhat professional. So then we thought, well, let's just change our name to TOA because it's already on the amplifiers, and our classmates would say, what does that stand for, tripping on acid? And we said, yeah, sure. Because it sounded scary. And
do you remember, I think it was my freshman year of high school, a band called Dumpster Juice, a local band?
I saw them in concert a couple of times.
Oh, did you really? I never got a chance to see them. I wasn't old enough to see them, but I was at New Capet, a music store in Uptown. I loved it. Used to hang out there way too much. And
Sure, I went there a few times.
it wasn't that a cool store?
Yeah.
It's such a cool vibe, and those guys were awesome. I looked up to all of those guys.
I never looked up to any of them. I thought they were creepy, but I certainly would stare at all the equipment that I couldn't afford.
I remember one of the guys talking about this band. He's like, "Oh, I saw this band recently, local band. They're great. They're called Dumpster Juice." And it took me a while to get over that.
What a great name!
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
if I remember right, the one of the guys in the band said we wanted to come up with something that people wouldn't forget. I've never forgot, and I've never even seen them.
I want to go ahead and say that Dumpster Juice was the live band that was featured at the very, very first WrestlePalooza. 25, I don't know how many years ago. Someone call Eric Cannon here in town and ask him about the very first Wrestle Rock or WrestlePalooza they ever put on at First Avenue. I was there, and I think Dumpster Juice was the musical guest.
So I'm Googling them right now, and it looks like they had a show with Impaler on April 4th. I'll have to see.
Dude, Impaler.
Yeah.
What a great band name. And they've been around forever, and they're some of the nicest guys in town. But they'll scare the hell out of you.
Oh, man, they are scary. We have always said it. They send us a Christmas card every year, and it's not Christmas until we get one of their Krampus cards.
What a great band name.
Great
Nice
group of guys.
yeah, absolutely. All right, there you go. Listeners texted in and said, TOA, terms of adversity? Yes, terms of adversity was that's what the TO and the O and the A stood for in our stupid failed high school rock and roll band. So what else is going on around here? Last night I watched the first half of the Charlie Sheen documentary. Have you guys gotten through that yet?
Not yet. I'm hoping this weekend.
I watched the first half of the Charlie Sheen documentary.
What'd you think?
It was a good hour and a half long, and I think the second half is also about that long, so there's no way I could do a double whammy. I really enjoyed watching it. I understand why so many people have been recommending it. I like Charlie. So far, he's telling his life story well. It's really interesting. Interesting is how you say it, not interesting. It's very interesting because as a kid, they had a camcorder, and there's lots of footage of Charlie and his family when they were very young. Sean Penn is in there. Chris Tucker.
Oh, yeah. What's their connection?
They did a movie or two together. So, guys like Sean Penn are featured in the documentary because they grew up in the same neighborhood and both became famous actors. You get a guy like Chris Tucker who factors into the story later because I forgot, what was the name of the movie they did together? I think it was called Money Talks.
That sounds right.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I loved Chris Tucker.
Me too. I miss Chris Tucker.
Still love him. But, when he was hot in the mid-'90s, he worked with Charlie. I'm trying to think who else. Of course, John Cryer, who factors into the story a little bit later when they did the 2.5 Men program. But, so far, I guess what I'd take away from it is they've gotten up to about 1997, 98 now in the Charlie Sheen story. In the first half of the documentary, they get up to about 97, 98. And, the sumbitch should have been dead then. What he was doing to himself. He should have been dead then.
Yeah, I haven't had anybody even say it's mediocre. Anybody who's watched this told me, you got to watch this.
He's a likable guy.
Yeah, he sure does seem that way.
He always has been, in my opinion. Always been a likable guy.
Anything so far that you've learned that you didn't know beforehand or hadn't heard other people talk about with this documentary?
I guess if there's one thing, I did not realize that it went as far. I did not realize that his drug abuse went as far as it did. I knew the man loved to drink his nuts off. I didn't know just the dirty, disgusting, roadside hard drugs that he was taking mass amounts of. That's, I guess, what would be the big surprise. I'm sure if 10 minutes from now I'll come up with something way more interesting than that, but right now that's all I can think of.
So I haven't seen it, but I saw a recent article saying at one time the cartel had to cut him off because he was doing too much drugs. Did you see that part yet?
No, I did not.
Okay, I want to see if that's really in
We
there.
haven't gotten that far.
Even the cartel's like, hey, we got to run a business here, bro.
Something else now that I'm trying to come up. He did have successful run in treatment, a year, that's pretty good for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Let alone a Hollywood
Especially,
star.
yeah, somebody that's living his lifestyle.
I think we all have friends who we wish could dry up or get off the drugs for a year because it would do them some good. Charlie Sheen was able to achieve that. That's something I didn't know. I didn't know he was so tight with Nick Cage, and they were not a good combination.
Oh, really?
Not
bad for each other?
Oh, horrible for each other. There's something else I learned. I didn't know how do you say his name?
Nick Cage?
I didn't know he was wildly out of control on drugs.
I was just going to mention that, and I thought maybe I'd get ripped on by you guys like that was well known. I had no idea. I mean, he's obviously kind of a goofy guy.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he had an alcohol or drug problem.
We can come back to this in just a minute. Here's your shot at winning $1,000 with $5K a day. Text the national keyword BREAD, B-R-E-A-D. Text the national keyword BREAD to 95819 and text that now to enter for your chance to win. We'll text you back to confirm your entry. Data and messaging rates may apply. Please don't be a flatliner by texting and driving. Keep trying at this. It's $5K a day, son. Make sure you're tuned in at 6, 10, noon, 2 p.m., 6 p.m. What's the matter with you?
Well, I don't know if anybody's done anything wrong yet.
I didn't know Nick Cage was such a out-of-control addict.
I knew the guy partied. I just know it was Charlie Sheen like levels.
It was bad. It was really bad, and it was ugly.
That's crazy to think, based on what we've heard about Charlie Sheen, somebody could be bad for Charlie Sheen.
Right.
He'd lead that charge.
I'm sure I'm forgetting something because there were a lot of interesting facts in part one of the Charlie Sheen documentary and certainly things that I had never heard before. But right now it escapes me. Some of the other things escape me.
Did they get up to the Ice Cube part?
Yes.
Where he put the ice cube in his butt to try and stay sober or awake in a scene?
He was filming some movie. He admitted along the way that he was just agreeing to do any movie for a stretch of time because it would give him dope money. And he calls cocaine dope. So he needed dope money. He would agree to be in any movie, and he was filming some forgettable movie, and he was so high and so wrecked with the cocaine and the crack rocks and whatnot that he was basically falling asleep on set. And that's what led him to go into a bathroom and keister an ice cube so it would keep him awake. And he said, by damn, it worked. It friggin' worked. Oh, I did not know that he missed out on his chance. This is it. This is what I've been trying to come up with. I did not know that Charlie Sheen missed out on his chance to play the lead role in The Karate Kid in 1984.
Oh, man, that would have changed everything.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Charlie was scheduled to film his very first movie, Grizzly Part 2, the sequel to Grizzly, okay? But he was very excited. It was his first role. Of course, his brother Emilio Estevez was doing things, and he wanted in. You know, I want to be an actor, too. Emilio can do it. Why can't I do it? So the folks at Grizzly 2 said, we'll give you a shot, which, by the way, the stars of Grizzly 2 are George Clooney and Laura Dern.
Oh, wow.
Who went on to wonderful things. Charlie was he had like an 8-minute scene in the movie, and he gets killed by the grizzly bear, right? So he's very excited for this. And then the phone rings, and the folks at Karate Kid say, we want you for the lead role. Lead role? He's like, for Christ's sake, I've never even been in a real movie. You're offering me a lead role? They said, yeah. He goes to his dad, Martin Sheen, who, of course, by then is a wildly experienced and highly regarded actor. He goes to his dad and says, what do I do? The people at Grizzly 2 want me for an 8-minute scene. The people at Karate Kid want me to be the lead role. And his dad said, you go to Grizzly 2. And he says, what are you talking about? I only got 8 minutes in Grizzly 2. Karate Kid wants me to be... And the dad said, Martin Sheen said, but you gave the people at Grizzly 2, you gave them your word. And he said, your word means everything in this business. You're doing Grizzly 2 because you need to establish yourself as a reliable guy. You don't go back on your word. He followed his dad's advice. Grizzly 2 goes into the toilet. Karate Kid makes $700 million. And he was friggin' furious with his old man. One of the many times he had a conflict with his old man.
I'm trying to picture what that would be like.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anybody else in that role, I guess. Especially somebody like Charlie Sheen. But at the time, like you said, he was a nobody. Right now I'm picturing, oh, that's Charlie Sheen. I'd be thinking that the whole time.
I'm glad Ralph got the gig because Ralph is cool.
He was perfect for it.
Yeah, he was perfect for it. Oh.
When I was a kid, and every time I'd watch a movie, I'd go to IMDb to read, behind-the-scene facts about it. So I remember seeing Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where he has that cameo where he's strung out, Charlie Sheen, exhausted, in the police station, and he meets up with his sister. And they said that he stayed up for 72 hours preparing for that role. Didn't sleep for 72 hours to make it look authentic. And I remember thinking at the time, whoa, what a method actor. How dedicated to his craft is he? And then I got older and like, oh, he was just strung out for a 3-day party. He wasn't that committed to the role. He was just on drugs.
No, he was used to it at that point.
Yeah.
He was cool in that, wasn't he?
He was.
Here's I'll Always Walk with Elias Jesus texting into the program, and he says the last 20 minutes of the second half of the Charlie Sheen documentary is pretty shocking. That's where you learn stuff you may not have known. That stuff was never made public by him until this documentary. Okay. I don't know when I'll get around to it, but I will.
Yeah, I'll do that this weekend.
What a life.
Did he say why he's making it? Did he say, why now or how this came to be?
No, how the documentary came to be.
Yeah.
If he did, I missed it. But what a life, Luckily, he didn't throw it away. Well, not yet. I mean, he's been sober for quite a stretch of time now, he says. But luckily, he didn't die at 23.
Yeah,
or
no kidding.
27 or 28. Or growing up in Malibu. It's funny. The voice of reason so far in the Charlie Sheen documentary is Sean Penn, who I think most people have the opinion is totally out of his mind, right?
Yeah.
But in this documentary, he comments a lot, and he seems like the most measured and reasonable guy. And the prick kept all of his hair. God, lucky bastards.
I wonder if he really did or he has that secret Hollywood connection, that can make it look real.
Oh, well, it looks real. I guess, yeah, you never know. All right, we got to get going again. It's your damn Wednesday broadcast of the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. Appreciate all of you tuning in. When we come back, we'll let her buck with the stupid news. We'll be back in a couple minutes here.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey, podcast pals. Dana here to give you a friendly reminder that now is the best time to get your furnace tuned up before we take a shot to the face with cold Minnesota weather. My pals at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning currently have same-day and next-day openings, but they won't last long. By the time October rolls around, if your furnace craps out, you'll be freezing your private parts off while dealing with side eye from your significant other and pets for not calling sooner. So give Standard Heating and Air Conditioning a call today. Check this out. You can save up to $70 on your tune-up with Standard Heating. Visit standardheating.com. That's standardheating.com to book today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Thursday Night Football is on, and it's only on Prime Video. This week, the Seattle Seahawks face the Arizona Cardinals in an NFC West showdown. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with football's best party, TNF Tonight, presented by Verizon. Not a Prime member? Not a problem. Simply sign up for a 30-day free trial. It's the Seahawks and the Cardinals, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime Video. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right. Get into position. We were just talking about hilarious pranks during yesterday's program, weren't we? Just talking about pranks yesterday. And here we go. The old fart bomb prank leads us off here. Today's Stupid News Report. The fart spray, the fart bomb.
The fart bomb is quite powerful. You've experienced that, correct?
Oh, God help us. In junior high, my brother and I received the dreaded out-of-school suspension for dumping fart bombs all over the hallways.
Those bombs were bad. I had a buddy that did the same thing. This was high school, though. I mean, it cleared out the gym. I mean, it cleared out essentially the entire floor.
Beautiful.
So potent.
We had the little capsules. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They were small, clear little capsules with some fluid in there, my brother and I. So we just nonchalantly dropped them in the hallway at our junior high. Obviously, someone was bound to step on them, and the entire school would smell like unmitigated ass for 6 or 7 hours.
Smells like Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's what it smells like.
Out-of-school suspension. That was devastating to the both of us,
Right?
as you might imagine.
Yeah, I never got that one. Never quite understood that. Oh, how terrible.
Yeah. Out-of-school suspension was a cakewalk. In-school suspension, it was trying. I'll call it that. It wasn't hard. I wouldn't use the word hard or difficult or miserable. It was trying because you just sit and sit and sit and sit for the full 6 hours. Out-of-school suspension. And I remember our mom, she thought she was tough. When we got out-of-school suspension, she got in my face, got in my brother's face, and said, well, if you're going to be cute like that and you're suspended for 3 days, you're going to do yard work, you're going to clean the gutters, you're going to paint the bathroom. And we said, yeah, go ahead and make us. We did nothing and liked it for 3 days.
I told you the only particular time I was ever suspended, it was in-school suspension. I had to paint a gym, so they made us do a little work.
Oh, man.
And write a letter of apology to our principal.
You were given such a raw deal. Whenever you tell this story, I want to call whoever was principaling your silly Catholic school back in the early to mid-'90s. I want to give him a phone call and say, you know what? You treated this guy so terribly, and he was the best friggin' thing that ever happened to your school.
Yeah, right.
You
Well,
never missed a day of school,
No.
ever.
And
From
again-
kindergarten through your senior year, you never missed a day of school. You got good grades. You weren't walking around the hallway drunk. You weren't starting any fights. And then what was it? You were late,
I was 5 minutes late to a graduation
and you had to
practice.
paint a gym.
Yes. And again, back then there weren't cell phones. I've never had a watch, nothing like that, so I just missed it. I certainly not
You
intentional.
don't need to explain anything, Josh. You've done nothing
I felt
wrong.
bad enough.
Of course you feel bad. What a bunch of pricks over there.
The one thing, so I didn't mind painting the gym. I learned a lot about tape lines and chalk lines and things like that. So
dork.
It was a positive experience in that regard. I learned a lot about different shades of blues. It was a learning experience. But writing the letter to apologize to the principal as if it was a personal affront to her.
No, just stop.
Even my parents were confused by that one.
You never did a damn thing wrong. All right, so fart bombs got launched all up and down a high school in, how do I say this, South Carolina. The twist here is that a teacher's assistant was the sumbitch behind the caper, not a kid. A fully grown effing employee at the school, a teacher's assistant. And dude got arrested for that. Whoa. I don't think my brother and I ever feared we'd be arrested for our fart bomb prank.
Oh, that would never enter my mind.
Back in 1986.
That's just a, hey, knock it off type of thing. Maybe it's different now with all the scary stuff going on. But back then it was just, hey, knock it off.
The teacher's assistant with the ass bombs goes by the name of Alexander Lewis. He's 32 years old. And now he's up against criminal charges.
I mean, that is more concerning when it's an adult.
Yeah. When you said teacher's assistant, I thought maybe like a student teacher, maybe like a senior in college or recently graduated. I wasn't picturing a 32-year-old.
No, you should take a look at the mugshot. You still wouldn't think 32-year-old.
Really?
This guy's a little rough looking. I'm sorry.
He's rough looking in what way?
It doesn't look like a 32-year-old to me. A little older and stupider.
Oh.
Loader operator Jesus got out of school suspension once because he skipped in-school suspension.
Oh, I remember that was how it worked at our school too. Yeah, if you missed in-school suspension, you were then given out of school. Yeah, what a horrible, horrible punishment that was. So the local cops say that this Lewis, the teacher's assistant, the local cops say he went ahead and bought some hilarious fart spray online and used it at the school multiple times. And they say that it caused, quote, significant disruptions. Students and staff got terrible headaches. They were dizzy. New guys in the corner puking his guts out. One kid with asthma couldn't breathe, and he fell down a flight of steps. That's awesome.
I do kind of wish I saw that.
But here's where the effing teacher's assistant with the fart juice really caused problems. And this is probably why he's looking at criminal charges. The school had no effing clue where the stink was coming from. So the maintenance team over there, they tore apart the AC unit and whatnot, and that cost the school $55,000. Jesus balls. They tore the whole works apart trying to find a dead cat or whatever, and nothing.
I have a friend who has an experience, not that dramatic, but his daughter was going through some tummy troubles, and this lasted about a week, and she was embarrassed by it, and it was awful going around. She just wrecked the bathroom. And
she stunk.
It was bad. So she wrecked the bathroom very bad.
At the house.
Yes. And he's asking, like, who's destroying the bathroom? And nobody wanted to admit it. She was embarrassed. And so he's like, well, you got to tell me because I think something's wrong with our plumbing. And no one would cop to it, so he had a plumber out who couldn't figure anything out. And eventually she admitted what was going on.
Oh, man.
That she was having these tummy issues. But I'm sure that wasn't cheap, having the plumber out to investigate what was going on with their sewer line or pipes or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I feel bad for everybody in that situation.
You know, as a son, you'd be proud of such a thing. Right,
you'd own it. Mm-hmm.
It devastated her, I guess.
I'm sure. That's got to be so embarrassing for a young girl.
Especially when you got to admit it. And the whole family's thinking, oh, no, we got some major issues at the house.
Sucks. Well, one of our listeners got in-school suspension for calling their classmate a whore.
Really?
Well, was it true?
I mean,
of course
maybe they needed
true.
to know.
Called one of his classmates a whore. Got, how did I say it? Out of school suspension. Eventually, this school in South Carolina figured it out. I don't know how, but they came to the conclusion that it was this 32-year-old teacher's assistant dropping store-bought anus all over the joint, and now he's on trial. That's effing ridiculous. The story doesn't go into any detail on whether or not the teacher's assistant did this out of anger or because he just likes to have a few laughs. They don't go in that direction, so I wish I could help you, but I can't.
Yeah, I wish I knew what was going on with this guy.
Nick, do you remember how you and your brother got caught? Because they can never figure out who did it when somebody would do it in my school. Because somebody just steps on one and
I think
in a crowded hallway.
Well, now it would be social media. The kid would bust themselves on social media.
Point.
I don't remember how we got caught. I'm guessing we got narked.
Sure.
On. Is that how you say it? Narked on?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. There are some mysterious folks amongst us. Just can't figure out what motivates them. Some nutbag in Japan, he's been arrested for stealing 50 fire hose nozzles from local firehouses. Not the entire fire hose, just the nozzles. He's a 57-year-old man, got pinched for that. Dude was recorded on surveillance cameras at firehouses all over Japan, snatching up the nozzles. Now, this story was translated from Japanese, so it's not the easiest to follow for me. I think maybe the story says there may possibly be more than one jagoff running around town stealing fire hose nozzles. The first dude here was caught with 50 of them. But in total, 81 some firehouses in Japan have had nozzles go missing. So folks in town are confused. Why are they snatching the stupid nozzles? Were they selling them? It says here, fire hose nozzles aren't exactly in demand online, and they're not worth much in the first place. One local said, well, people do have all types of fetishes. We can't rule that out.
Oh, no.
Are the fire hose nozzle thieves, Josh? Are they using those fire hose nozzles for what they call sexual gratification?
Boy, I never, if I was investigating, that would never pop into my mind.
Like
I can't be an investigator, I guess.
Up the old Kansky?
Ooh,
That's a lot of PSI for the beehole.
that is. Yikes.
Another local said, this crime hardly seems worth the risk. And I like the way he puts this. He, meaning whoever's stealing all the nozzles, he could have gotten virtually any job or even sat on a corner with a paper cup, and he would have made more in a shorter span of time. So it seems like we can't eliminate the possibility that he was just some kind of fetishist. And like our listener, Babyface Destroyer Jesus, just texted into the program, anything is a dildo if you're brave enough.
Put that on.
Yeah, good point.
Put that on a T-shirt.
Got to have a little courage. You can make that thing into a dildo. Because they said there was another group that was doing this before, and they were selling them.
Oh.
But with this guy or group, they're not really sure what's going on. They haven't been selling them.
Very strange. Very odd. Certainly not an endeavor that I would be interested in. Hey, bro, you want to sneak around after hours, break into the firehouse, steal the nozzles? What?
No.
Well, we could make 25 cents off this. And no. I don't understand. Now, in the words of former NFL star wide receiver Randy Moss, this here is a, quote, once-in-a-lifetime thing that happens every once in a while. One of my favorite quotes from an athlete ever.
It's deep.
Many, many years ago, Randy Moss made that quote after a Vikings game. He had some great game, I'm imagining, and he said to the media, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing that happens every once in a while.
It sounds stupid at first, but if you think about it, it does make sense.
I suppose. I don't know.
I'm sure there's a better way to word that.
I'm going to go ahead and guess you'll never see this again in your lifetime. Is this video up on 93xhowdoyousayit.com?
It is, yes.
If you have a minute, swing over there. Pretty entertaining video. A fellow, where was he now? China. A feller out there in China got his effing skull stuck in a traffic light after he smooth crashed his electric scooter into the damn thing. The video is hard to believe. It looks like he's part man and part traffic light.
He kind of looks like a 1960s sci-fi robot to me.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. He looks like a regular human with a blinking red traffic light instead of a head.
Yeah.
That's how perfectly his noggin went. So dude was simply going for a rip through town on his very intimidating electric scooter. The scooter gets away from him, and he crashed into what they call here a temporary traffic light. The impact caused the poor bastard's skull to almost perfectly get stuck inside the circular traffic light. And I'm sure you can picture what I'm talking about if you can't get access to the video right now. I bet that hurt.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this video, it's better than advertised, I think.
That'll part your hair for you right there, Josh.
I don't know how this happens on accident. I mean, it looks like you'd have to do that on purpose. Everything must have been perfectly wrong for this to occur. Poor guy. Just the embarrassment alone. Did I just get a traffic light stuck on my head?
Aw, not
God
again.
dang.
You mentioned the embarrassment. As if the dude wasn't embarrassed enough and in enough pain, here come the neighborhood firefighters, and it took those peckerheads 40 minutes to cut a player's cranium out of that traffic light. So there he lays on the sidewalk for all to see. Just a total catastrophe. Once they cut him loose, I guess he was all right.
You'd have to have a sense of humor about it. I hope he does. Like, how you feeling? A little lightheaded, you might say?
You son of a bitch.
And then we'd all laugh and go out for a cup of Earl Grey or whatever they're drinking over there. I'm not sure.
Well, you bet we'd laugh at that. When the guy said he was feeling a little lightheaded, you bet we would.
A person here says, back to the previous story about people possibly inserting the nozzles into their rectums.
Yeah.
They work at a hospital. They had a guy with an Orville Redenbacher oil bottle up his butt. And they recommend next time you're at the grocery store, take a look at that bottle.
Oh, it's a big bottle.
Yeah, doesn't it kind of look like a fire hydrant?
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm thinking of something
It
else.
kind of starts out a little bit smaller and gets bigger as it goes down. That's what I'm picturing.
Flared. People recommend that's how you go. Let's see.
So back in the day when Orville Redenbacher sold you a bottle of popcorn oil, he gave you a pretty good deal. This is a big container.
Let's see.
You said it looks like a fire hydrant?
Yeah, so this is a little different than I was picturing, but yep, you know, this would, it's ribbed for somebody's pleasure.
Ew.
Look at
F
that
me running. That sounds awful. All right, how about the grave digging championship tournament? Now that there sounds like something that could kill you dead.
Oh, man.
Quicker than you can say Jack Robinson. And when it does, I guess at least you'd have a perfect place to fall into. The grave digging championship tournament. Says here every year, grave diggers from around the world gather in a place called Hungary to compete in the International Grave Digging Championship. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this right now, Cubby. I'm not going to Hungary for anything. Even if I was the greatest grave digger in town, I'm not going to Hungary. But
Nothing. Is there a particular reason, or just for the heck? You're not interested?
I've never even heard of the place.
Oh, Budapest? You've heard of Budapest, haven't you?
Never heard of it. So these grave diggers, they work in teams of 2. They put their abilities to the test by digging graves that are 6.5 foot long, 2.5 foot wide, and 5 foot deep, and they got to get that done within 2 hours. And then when that nightmare is over, they got to up and fill the pig back in again and make it all nice and tidy. That's how the game is played. The contest judges are looking for speed, accuracy, attention to detail. I'll tell you this, a dude once dug a well in my basement years ago for one reason or another. He went a good 6 feet down. I don't know how he did it without sudden death.
It's always way worse than I remember anytime you dig a hole.
Oh, without a doubt.
This dude, it was some kind of well permit type situation. I'm sure there's somebody in our listening audience who understands the language. I didn't know exactly what was going on at any time, but I had to have some tough guy come into my basement and dig all the effing way down to find out this or that, right? All the way down, 6 feet. And he did it by hand, all by himself. I had, on my basement floor, Josh, I had 6 feet of dirt stacked up this high. It was such a surreal sight. There's my billiard table, my television, my couch, my this, that, right? I keep my place pretty tidy. And there was this mountain of dirt, and this poor bastard with his shirt off over there just, going at it. Cost a lot of money. I remember when he finally got to the bottom and found out whatever he needed to find out, he said, okay, so there's your answer. I got to fill this sumbitch up again. I said, how much is it going to cost me to have you fill it up again? And he said, whatever, $500. I said, get the hell out of here. I'll do it myself. And I filled it in myself. I regretted that, but it was better than digging the hole.
Oh, yeah, that's the better way to go.
But I filled it in. It was so weird. It was like, here I am in 2015 or whatever, but it was like the late 1700s. I'm filling in a hole, and it was just odd.
Can you imagine just a neighbor walking by, seeing that through your basement window? Like, oh, my God, I live next to a serial killer.
He killed her.
Yeah.
All right, in this year's Gravediggers World Showdown, a Hungarian team of 2 big, ugly, barrel-ass sumbitches. They won it all for the second year in a row. They dug that bitch and filled her smooth up again in a time of 1 hour plus 33 minutes. After it was over, the two of them more or less said, "It ain't no thing but a chicken wing on a string from a Hungarian Burger King. This is what we do to pay the bills. We're professionals. Yes, we both wish we would have gotten an education. Where's the beer and a place to sit down?" is basically what they said. And it closes out. The goal of the International Grave Digging Championship is to raise the prestige of the grave digger profession, but it never does. That's the goal, but it never does.
I mean, don't they use machines now at this point?
Don't know.
I guess I haven't seen a grave dug.
I know nothing about it, Josh.
Maybe not in Hungary.
Not a damn thing. Sounds like tough work, though. Way, way tougher than I could give you. All right.
Yeah, but I can't imagine at my age being able to do something like that. We buried the ashes of our dogs, just like a foot or so down, and even that, I'm like, I got to take a break.
Yeah.
Bank examining Jesus said he's pretty good at digging himself into a hole with his wife. A lot of us are.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
I can do that pretty easy.
Yeah. Man, talk about a C block. You guys have experienced that, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You think you're getting there and some slick bitch.
Have kids.
Are kids a C block?
One of the ultimate. Yeah, one of the ultimate.
You could also define this as a clam slam. It goes both ways. It's a C block and a clam slam, all in one skis. Starting October 1st, the state of Connecticut's putting a ban on first cousins getting married.
Never had a first cousin I was interested in, but I did have a second cousin that was pretty attractive.
Yeah?
And it was my dad's cousin. That would make her a second cousin, right?
I don't know exactly how that works.
I don't know the rules.
Yep.
Okay, well, that was the relationship. Maybe it's one of those first cousins once removed. I'm not sure.
She was a member of your family.
It was my dad's cousin. She was about my age, maybe 3 years older.
You've talked about her before, and, I mean, you were really stunned. She was a beauty.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. And I was maybe in middle school, and she came over for a family reunion. Never heard of her. No idea who she was. I thought maybe she was a friend of one of my cousins or something like that showed up, and then my dad's like, "Oh, no, this is actually my cousin."
Gorgeous.
And it ruined it for me, and I felt like a pervert.
Did you have to whack off?
No. I didn't have to. I chose to.
Did you whack off?
No, I didn't whack
One
off.
of your family members?
No.
What's the matter with you?
I did not.
Were you tempted?
Was I tempted?
Don't listen to him, Dana. He whacked off.
whacked.
I didn't whack off. You guys, I
whacked.
didn't whack off.
You're a whacker.
All right.
What's it called when you pleasure yourself to completion?
Whacking off.
Oh, I did that.
Oh, what
yes,
the
I
hell?
did do that. I'm sorry, I was mistaken.
We wasted all that time
Yes,
arguing.
like twice.
Shouting. All right. Starting October 1st, the state of Connecticut is putting a ban on first cousins getting married. That's just like throwing a wet blanket on true love, if you ask me.
All right, so we have an answer. My dad's first cousin. This
Your
Texas.
dad's first cousin.
Yes, and I wish I could give this person credit. I don't have a Jesus or Jesus name here. Your dad's cousin would make her fair game.
According to state officials in Connecticut, procreation between first cousins can increase the chance of birth defects. That's why they're putting a ban on it. Connecticut state law already bans people from marrying a parent, a grandparent, a sibling. They also stand in the way of marrying your own child.
Oh, God.
Those are all good rules to have in place.
A resident out there by the name of Tom, he saw it this way. Someone put a mic in Tom's face, and he said, "I never really thought about marrying my first cousin. Didn't really enter my mind, but, whatever floats your boat."
Well, there's still time.
Tom also used one of my favorite slogans along the way. He said, "Different strokes for different folks." I've always liked that one.
Yeah, I like that too.
But, Tom went on to say, it's going to mess up the DNA a little bit if you start crossing and mixing those wires. I like this Tom guy. I like the way he comes off. in over 15 other states, including, they say here, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Vermont. Folks can still marry their first cousin. It's funny, isn't it? We love to bust the balls of folks in Mississippi and Alabama and Wisconsin about all the incestual love that they make over there. But the truth is, it's the northeast part of our country where they're throwing their cousins into the tall grass.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that either. You're right. The South gets made fun of that.
I thought the northeast was so sophisticated.
Now, if you're thinking, hey, I want to have sex with a relative or get married to a relative, and you're a Minnesotan, 10 years in prison.
What?
Whoa.
You're in Wisconsin? It must be too tempting in Wisconsin because they'll give you 40 years in prison and $100,000 in fines.
Is that right?
So it must be just a temptation that 10 years wasn't scaring people away from.
They had up the ante.
Iowa, they're less likely to want to hump some kin. Up to 5 years and a $7,500 fine. North Dakota, 5 years, $10,000. South Dakota, 15 years, $30,000.
Kin, you called it.
Kin.
Yeah, it reminds me of when I used to watch the Beverly Hillbillies. They were always talking about their kin. Anyways, hands off, I guess. Hands off your cousin.
Another text here said a parent's cousin would be a first cousin once removed. All right. Thank you. And, oh, shoot.
We'll get
this
to the
text
bottom.
Somebody Somebody else said, with enough time in between, it's not wrong. They suggested after 2 weeks, you can masturbate to the thought of a cousin.
Oh, we're talking about masturbation
Yeah,
now.
and you're fine.
With enough time? Okay. I'm going to try to wrap my head around that. We got to take a break. We'll check on the sports next.
Time now for your weekly video game update.
On the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
93X.
Everybody loves video games, but do you love them enough to get a game character permanently inked on your body? Dana here with your video game update. A survey was done about gamers who got tattoos, and they put together a list of the 10 most common gaming characters people are rocking for life. No real surprise that Nintendo, who are the undisputed king of video game mascots, dominated the list, with Pikachu coming in first place, followed by Mario at second. Other Nintendo characters included Kirby at 4, Bowser at 8, and Yoshi at 9. Rounding out the rest of the list was Kratos at 4, everyone's favorite hedgehog Sonic at 5, and Ryu at 6. Yeah, that one surprised me too. I know Street Fighter is popular, but who the hell is overly passionate about Ryu? I digress. Crash Bandicoot came at number 7, and the adorable Spyro the Dragon at number 10. When you think about it, a video game tattoo is a pretty safe one to get. It's not like Pikachu is ever going to do anything to get canceled. It's a much safer play than, say a certain person you're listening to right now that spent $75 to get his wife's initials tattooed on him, and then about $1,000 to get it removed after the divorce. As Mario would say, oh, mamma mia. That's your video game update. Back next Wednesday at the same time.
93X.
Sports. On the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Minnesota was amazing. The Timberwolves treated me with nothing but love and respect. And to have those years there and finally see some success happening, with our team there was awesome, and the fans appreciated it a bunch. But obviously it stung. I've called that place home for 9 years.
Oof.
I've built my life there. I've had so many memories there. So it's kind of like that first breakup.
When you found out it was New York, did you go, wow, it's actually awesome?
It was pretty cool.
Right?
What the hell's Carl Anthony Towns doing on the Jim Fallon show?
I don't know. A lot of clips have been floating around from that interview. I guess people liked it.
He's a big star now?
Apparently so. I mean, Jimmy Fallon's in New York. Maybe they're pumping up the upcoming season.
It just seems odd. Don't get me wrong. I like Carl, but I guess I didn't picture him as a talk show guest. I don't know.
A slow booking night.
There goes Carl. There go Carl right there on the Jim Fallon television program. The Lynx lost a playoff game.
Yeah, what happened there?
I didn't think that would happen. The Lynx lost a playoff game last night to someone called the Phoenix Mercury in overtime. So their series, which is a best-of-5 kind of a setup, Cubby, they're tied at 1 win apiece now. I didn't think they'd lose a playoff game.
No, it seemed like everybody assumed they'd just sweep that sucker.
The Twins put together a nice win in Texas last night. The Yankees clinched a playoff spot last night. And they're playing well. That sucks. So did Seattle. And when we get back into the mix in a half hour, Brad Ryder's going to swing by. We'll talk about, looks like Big League Baseball is going to go ahead with the robot umpires next season. For real skis. Tell you all about that.
I can't tell with your tone if you...
I don't like it.
Okay.
No, I don't like it.
I didn't know if that was a Jay Cutler, you didn't care either way, or if you didn't like it. So you disapprove.
I disapprove.
Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Will you grab the brand new bobblehead delivered to us by I'll Try Anything Twice Jesus and shake its head no? So I
tell folks what happened.
This morning we were so lucky and we're so grateful.
I'm shaking my bobblehead.
So
doll.
then I can tell if I can't reach a tone.
I do not approve of robot umpires. My bobblehead doll is telling you.
He dropped off some bobbleheads for us. He made one of me and one of Nick, and it's creepy how much it looks like us. These are two ugly bobbleheads.
They
look just like us. They dress like us.
Very well done.
Yeah, thanks again for that. But this is good because if I have trouble with your tone, you can just kind of activate it. Tell me if or you don't want it on air, you can tell me if you agree or disagree.
My bobblehead doll is even holding a Steve Weiser in one hand.
Very well. And it's just like how you hold it.
Oh, my God. We will check in with Josh's news report next.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey, podcast pals. Dana here to give you a friendly reminder that now is the best time to get your furnace tuned up before we take a shot to the face with cold Minnesota weather. My pals at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning currently have same-day and next-day openings, but they won't last long. By the time October rolls around, if your furnace craps out, you'll be freezing your private parts off while dealing with side eye from your significant other and pets for not calling sooner. So give Standard Heating and Air Conditioning a call today. Check this out. You can save up to $70 on your tune-up with Standard Heating. Visit standardheating.com. That's standardheating.com to book today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Hi, I'm Joe Saul-Sehy, host of the Stacking Benjamins podcast. Today, we're going to talk about what if you came across $50,000? What would you do?
Put it into a tax-advantaged retirement account.
The mortgage, that's what we do.
Make a down payment on a home.
Something nice.
Buying a vehicle.
A separate bucket for this addition that we're adding.
$50,000, I'll buy a new podcast.
You'll
partner.
buy new friends. And we're done. Thanks for playing, everybody. And we're out of here. Stacking Benjamins. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Isn't that a religious show? With all the Jesus and Sheezus talk?
Oh, hell no.
Just kidding. They suck.
93X. In the street, he had a gun in his hand, and then I hear two shots.
I don't know if they had some kind of altercation beforehand, but that's just crazy.
Hopefully this doesn't sprout into a trend. What began with grass clippings in Ohio last week grew into gunfire. Police say a 36-year-old man was arrested after shooting 22-year-old landscape worker Tanner Staggs in a turf war over rogue lawn debris. Staggs was reportedly shot over grass clippings on the shooter's car. A witness later said that Travis Jackson stepped out of his home and instead of grabbing a garden hose or broom when he saw the freshly cut fescue on his Ford, he opened fire.
They're on their way. Do you know how this started? Do you know who was shot?
Yeah, it was an argument over grass clippings on a car.
The car parked in front of Jackson's house, reportedly his, appeared to have only what cops called very light lawn debris on it. But that set him off. His freedom's about to be cut short. Jackson was taken into custody and booked into jail.
You know what I always say, Josh? There's some folks out there just looking for a reason.
Yeah, it sure seems that way with this guy. They showed photos of his car. I mean, there was next to nothing on it. It's going to happen.
They're waiting for a reason.
There was some monkey business in Music City over the weekend. Nashville, they know how to party. But what happened there early Sunday got a little out of hand. 2 people were arrested after a man was attacked by a guy in a gorilla suit. The victim said about 4:45 a.m. he was attacked by a man in a gorilla suit and another in a Hawaiian shirt. According to court documents, this part's not funny.
F me.
The victim was kicked, punched, and put in a headlock, and then his shoes were stolen. They stole his brand new shoes.
They took his damn shoes.
While cops were assisting the freshly beaten victim, which other officers spotted someone in a gorilla suit and a man in a Hawaiian shirt nearby. Which, of course, had very good odds of being the suspects they were looking for.
Right.
The primate impersonator, 18-year-old Xavier Rhodes, not the former Vikings cornerback, was charged with felony robbery and released. The suspect in the Hawaiian shirt was identified as 22-year-old Sherrod Robinson, who remained jailed. Try and walk around in those outfits together and try not to get laid. Good luck.
I'll tell you what, you're spot on. And this just solidifies something. I'm never, ever, ever going to Nashville. God, that sounds terrible.
No additional information was immediately released. I've never heard anybody say they didn't have a good time in Nashville outside of this guy at this point.
It's all anybody wants to talk about. Go to Nashville, go to Nashville, go to Nashville. I've been irritated by it, to be totally honest with you. But now that I've heard that a guy got the piss kicked out of him by an 18-year-old dressed as a gorilla, I'm surely not going there, ever.
A DoorDash driver ended up playing a surprise role in uncovering a hostage situation this week in Sweetwater, Texas. The driver dropped off a delivery at a motel about 11:30 a.m. Monday and noticed a combination of items seemed suspicious. They included trash bags, zip ties, bleach, and a hatchet, a slasher movie starter kit. Trusting their gut, the driver alerted police. When officers arrived at the motel room and questioned, they discovered someone being held hostage.
Oh, my God.
After a short standoff, police took the bad guy into custody, and while the immediate danger had passed, authorities hadn't released any additional details as of press time, but they did also take the hostage in custody. Apparently, they had a warrant.
Oh.
Sounds like it may have been a drug-related warrant.
That's dramatic right there.
Yeah, I mean, saved by the DoorDash guy.
Mm-hmm.
A Florida woman terrorized multiple neighbors, banging on people's homes and threatening them with a revolver because she'd been robbed of her cell phone, only to discover it was sitting in her car the entire time. According to police, 57-year-old Gail Stevenson spent Friday night pounding on neighbors' doors and waving around a revolver, insisting she'd been robbed. When officers later checked her SUV, they found both the phone and the gun inside. Do you mean this phone?
No, yeah, that's it.
For Christ's sake.
She told police she believed the man she'd given a ride to earlier had swiped her phone. One 52-year-old man said she pointed a revolver directly at his chest. Another recalled Stevenson demanding to know if the man she'd driven was inside. When officers confronted her, she repeatedly insisted she didn't own a firearm and even encouraged them to search her SUV. She opened the driver's side door to prove her point, and right there on the floor sat the missing phone. Moments later, an officer opened the rear door, and right there on the floor was the revolver. Her paranoia may have peaked because she was plastered. Police noted she smelled strongly of alcohol and admitted she'd been drinking before storming through her neighborhood, banging on doors and shouting she'd been robbed, and then using her gun to threaten whoever was unlucky enough to answer the door. She's scheduled to appear in court October 10th.
She's lucky she didn't get shot.
Yeah, no kidding. Again, this is Florida. I mean, I thought everybody was. Don't they give it for your first birthday? I thought you were given a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a random fact. The opposite of paranoia is called pronoia, the belief that everyone's involved in a secret conspiracy to help you.
Oh.
Pronoia.
Be a wonderful thing to believe in.
No kidding. That actually sounds like madness.
It
to
does.
Me.
It's almost worse.
Yeah, that sounds like madness.
Because, if somebody comes up and says, hey, everyone at work's out to get me, I mean, that's a real possibility.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If everyone's there to help you secretly, that's not true. You know that person's off.
Oh,
There's
man.
no way.
Never heard of that. Pronoia.
Pronoia. A Missouri man achieved the high score in some spectacularly poor decision-making, getting himself arrested in connection with an incident involving his girlfriend, her child, and an Xbox. Prosecutors say 22-year-old Quentin Peters stormed into his girlfriend's home after learning she sold his beloved console, a retaliatory move, police noted, after she discovered he'd been cheating.
Wow.
After learning about the revenge resale, he shoved her onto a bed and choked her during a heated clash. Her child tried to intervene, only to be tossed on the bed, too. Thankfully, police confirmed the child wasn't hurt, and the girlfriend refused any medical treatment at the scene. It's game over for Peters, though. He was taken into custody on domestic battery charges.
Oh, God. Sold his Xbox, huh?
Dana, what do you think the most extreme thing you would do if your wife sold your Nintendo?
Oh,
like she got mad at you for something. You came home, your Nintendo's gone. You were so excited to play, and she sold it.
Well, let's just hope that we never have to find out. How about that?
Would bad words be said?
Bad words would be said.
You're a terrible person.
I know. I love Nintendo.
This is a story about a lady who took it in a can and the woman who blasted her hole. A Florida woman shot another woman in her buttocks after the victim went to her home Saturday looking for her boyfriend, who, as it turned out, was inside power drilling the Yippee Bog with the dude piston.
What in the hell just happened?
The victim went to the 25-year-old glute gunner's home knowing her boyfriend was inside. She knocked on the door and asked her boyfriend to come out. As she began walking from the door to the side gate, the suspect opened the front door, stepped onto the porch, and fired 2 shots in the victim's direction, recasting her beehole into a trilogy, and then screaming, "Get from my house," quote unquote. The shooter told detectives the victim arrived about 9:50 a.m., banging on the door and threatening to, quote, beat her ass. She also said she recognized the visitor from a prior incident involving that same man. Video shows the boyfriend bolting from the scene immediately after the gunfire, fleeing in a Mercedes. Nice.
He knew he was next.
Oh, yeah, he knew there was some trouble here. Officers later caught up with him, and he admitted he'd been inside the bedroom retrofitting the pudding hatch with the boink swatter when his girlfriend came looking for him. The victim was later found sitting gingerly in a car. As you can imagine, she's got 2 new bullet holes to her butt.
Yeah.
She was at a nearby park and taken to a hospital for butt treatment.
Pudding hatch.
I have to thank the Bloodhound Gang. Those were lyrics to Foxtrot Uniform Charlie Kilo, if you catch my drift.
What the hell is happening with the Bloodhound Gang these days, Josh?
They get dirty in that song.
Oh.
Police responded to Nacho average knife fight at a Florida hotel yesterday morning. After the story, I'll see myself out.
Mm-hmm.
Deputies say they were called to a Days Inn about 3 a.m. and learned someone used a broken bottle of salsa to stab a fool. Authorities say it shattered into shards and was repurposed into a DIY dagger. The victim suffered neck injuries but survived, and deputies say the accused condiment combatant is now in custody.
Stabbed somebody with a what?
With a broken salsa bottle. Right in the neck. They survived.
God,
good improvising.
I can't even imagine. I mean, owie. A Kentucky woman is making headlines for bringing some dangerous heat to the bedroom. She set fire to her little sister's bedroom while the younger sister slept.
Oh, that's attempted murder.
It is, and that's what she's being charged with. 22-year-old Addison Brown ignited heating sibling rivalry into a literal crime by setting a mattress on fire while her sister was lying on it.
Man, it's horror movie stuff.
Brown's sister woke up to the smell of singed nips with flaming roaring fire next to her.
Nips.
Miraculously, however, she managed to escape serious harm despite Brown's attempt to barbecue her baby sis in bed, escaping with nothing worse than a terrifying story and some lightly toasted nerves. After arson investigators dug into what happened, they discovered Brown sent a series of alarming text messages afterward, telling several people she planned to kill her sister. Investigators said Brown sent messages to multiple individuals bragging she set the bedroom bonfire in an attempt to roast a relative, which one of those messages even made it to her sister. Brown was arrested after midnight last Friday and booked on charges of attempted murder, arson, and wanton endangerment.
Dana, weren't you bitch nips for a little while, or am I thinking of somebody else?
He's bitch pits.
Bitch pits.
Bitch pits.
I have a friend that's bitch nips.
Okay.
I'm bitch pits because I use women's deodorant.
Yeah.
And was it not Ashley who started calling you bitch pits?
Yeah, she coined that one.
Yeah.
That's great. That was hilarious.
A man was arrested after he tried to rob a woman last week of her freshly purchased tea. According to the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, a woman was strolling through the shops of Chino Hills just before 2 p.m. last Monday when a man approached her. He pulled out a knife and demanded the tea she just bought. Frightened, she hurled the drink at him, took off running, and called 911 faster than you can say Earl Grey. The suspect, a 29-year-old with a taste for trouble and tea, was later arrested on a robbery charge.
It's a strange item to be so desperately in need of.
Is it possible he didn't know what she had? It's one of those where he...
bottle of tea.
Just some tea. Yeah, I don't know if it was a bottle or she just went and got packets of it or what.
That's nothing I'll ever threaten you over.
No, yeah, you can have it.
Mm-hmm.
A Florida man with a resume as impressive as his imagination threatened to blow up some local streets, claiming he's in a gang and a cartel. And he kills people, and he kills kids, and he kills pets for a living.
That's what he does, huh? That's what he told the police, at least?
He does all that, yeah.
Okay.
He's a Renaissance man of sorts.
Got to make a living somehow.
911 got a call about 9 p.m. last Thursday. On the line was 46-year-old Floyd Bradley, who told dispatchers he'd been stockpiling bomb parts and had already tucked an explosive near a lively strip of bars and eateries. I generally blow up roads, he allegedly bragged. I blow up roads in Orlando, Castleberry, and Tampa. I blow them up. I shoot people who drive on those roads, warned the weirdo. He went on to claim that he has ties to the Bloods, to cartels, and even the mob. He declared he kills people for a living, including kids and pets, and then flexed about owning an AK-47, though he wouldn't confirm if it was tagging along. When officers rolled up, deja vu hit. They'd met this man before. Like a St. Cloud State dormitory, he radiated liquor fumes, and police say an open can of Bud Ice lounged beside him as he kicked back on a bench.
Well, I haven't heard about that one in quite a while.
Yeah.
Bud Ice, huh?
I'll put hair on your chest.
Over the past 6 months, Bradley's made roughly 45 calls to 911, but this latest call went badly for Bradley. This time he's facing charges serious enough that he might spend a stretch somewhere without phone privileges. He faces a slew of charges, including making a false report of a bomb, resisting arrest, and assault on a law enforcement officer.
Guy sounds like a real crackpot.
Yeah, it sounds like he'll be going away for a decent amount of time.
He's got some stories to tell, this one.
Yeah, I mean, he's in high demand, apparently. When most people hear Minnesota dumpster fire, their minds naturally jump straight to Minneapolis. But this time it was the capital city that made the metaphor a little too real. Earlier this month, a man in St. Paul was accused of setting multiple fires around the city, leaving several buildings damaged. Prosecutors said the 54-year-old intentionally started a series of dumpster fires during the early hours of September 13th. According to police and firefighters, the first call came in just before 4:30 a.m. When crews arrived, they found a dumpster with flames shooting more than 10 feet high right next to a building, part of which had already caught fire. Across the street, another dumpster was burning, and officers soon discovered several more fires spread across about a 4-block stretch. They managed to knock down the flames before the damage got worse, and while they worked, officers combed the area and eventually spotted the suspect. He was holding a stick in one hand and a lighter in the other. I'm not your guy. Just a couple of days later, officers were called to yet another fire. This one on a sidewalk outside an apartment building just 2 blocks from the earlier incidents. They found the same man again, this time standing beside smoldering coals with a lighter in his pocket and a cart full of coals which matched what was already burning, though he denied starting those fires. He now faces arson charges, which each carry up to 20 years in prison.
Oh, man.
Settle into your favorite couch-based butt groove. Today brings a pair of premieres, plus the return of a fan favorite. First, a new generation of Marvel heroes battle against an ever-spreading zombie scourge in Marvel Zombies. There's another new version of Law & Order in the mix with Law & Order Toronto Criminal Intent on the CW.
Now we're in Toronto?
We're in Toronto now.
I thought that was a joke when I saw that headline.
This version is about an elite team of investigators who tackle high-profile crime and corruption within Toronto. Then on Apple TV Plus, Slow Horses is back in the saddle with its 5th season.
I did not know that Toronto was going to get their own television show.
Yeah, I guess it's been a long time coming. They waited. They had a lot of other Law & Orders before that one.
What's it about?
It's about solving crimes.
Okay.
Stephanie McMahon is 49.
The billion-dollar princess.
Ooh, Pittsburgh Steelers legend Mean Joe Green, 79. Pothole riding Jesus, text in the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, which, by the way, you can always do at 651-989-9393. Your texts make our day. She said, "Good morning, puke stains."
Oh.
She's driving a truck without a working radio this week. She was out for surgery. Hope you're recovering well. And she's been catching up with podcasts. So by the time she hears this, she needs a reminder. Don't forget, pack a couple of chairs. And she'd also like us to wish her a happy Friday. Today, a cherished member of the sisterhood is having an F-off day and the day she gets to change her Jesus name. It's her last day at work, So she's now officially retired bald cop Jesus. Congratulations.
Oh, sure. I actually met that lady, a couple months ago at a roadhouse.
I'd imagine there was a spark.
Without a doubt.
Today is Wake and Bake Jesus' Friday. She's fleeing the state tomorrow and would like Team Busted Jesus to know that should she die in a fiery plane crash, he can have her Slave Raider cassette tapes. Good morning to No Plan Children Jesus checking in from San Antonio. Shout out to Repo Jesus from Repo Your Car Jesus. Happy birthday Barrett, who turns 10 today, from Gimpy Gas Hauler Jesus. Happy birthday to my sister-in-law Bree. And happy 64th to Ron from 5 kids Jesus, 5 Jesus-in-laws, and 16 Jesus grandkids. Oh, and your Jesus wife. And that's 93X News.
93X's Brad Ryder.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
They'll get it into Wickham, the hero at the end of regulation with the game tying 3. And the Phoenix Mercury pull off a comeback for the ages and tie up these best-of-5 semifinals.
Here comes old Brad Ryder onto the scene. What's up, Brad?
How you doing, Nick?
Doing
Brad
all right.
is jacking off.
I would hope not. I would hope not. Hi, Brad. Your wingman, Randy Shaver, is off for the rest of the week.
I hear that.
And I spell week W-E-A-K. So, let her buck, Brad. The shackles have been removed.
All right, what do we want to talk about?
Well, the Lynx lost a game in the WNBA playoff last night. I didn't think that would happen. Their opponent, the Phoenix Mercury, had to do something no team had ever done in league history. Let me see if I can piece this together for you. The Lynx had never lost a playoff game in which they led at halftime by double digits. They were 15-0 all-time in that department. And they had never lost a game, any game, playoffs or regular season, where they were up 16 or more at the half. The Lynx were 61-0 in that department until last night. Phoenix came back, whooped the Lynx in overtime at Target Center, so the best-of-5 series is squared up at 1 win apiece.
Well, I think the thing is, people probably shouldn't panic about this if you're following this, because the Lynx have not had the best record in the league all year. They can go on the road and win. They still got Game 5 at home if they need it, so they should be okay.
They'll go ahead and play Game 3 on Friday night. So last night's game has tied the record for the largest road comeback in WNBA now playoff history. That's what happened last night. That'll be the only game they lose, probably.
Hopefully. It might be, yeah.
Brad Ryder, are you the kind of guy that will sit down and watch a television program, a movie, a sitcom, a series?
I've got like 2 or 3 shows that if they're on, I'll watch them all the time.
Tell us about them.
They're pretty standard. The Office, if that's on, it's on in my house.
Well, it's always on, so you got good odds there.
You like The Office, never saw it. Go ahead.
Seinfeld.
Never saw it.
I like that show on the History Channel, too. This is a little bit more obscure. Pawn Stars.
Oh, Pawn Stars is great.
Oh, that'll hook me in every time.
Oh, I've ridden out many a hangover with a Pawn Stars marathon on the History Channel.
Never saw it.
Is it the same recipe where somebody brings in like an heirloom that's been handed down through generations, and the guy's like, "Oh man, wow, this is something else. This is
or collectibles or things like that, or sometimes they'll go off and do like big ticket items like luxury cars or classic cars or airplanes or whatever. Yeah.
But they'll value it with a resale value of like $300,000, and they say, "All right, we're going to give you $200 for it."
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, the seller will basically say, "This is what I want for it," and then the Pawn Stars family will come back with an offer, and then they'll go back and forth and either buy or they won't.
I'm surprised that's still on. Not to say the quality was bad or anything. That's had a good run.
It really
I remember
has.
when it started.
They were doing a live show for a while where they would like appraise your items live on stage.
What draws you into such a thing, Brad Ryder? Is it trying to guess what certain old-timey things would be worth, or you're interested in what they might get in return, or is it the characters on the program?
All the above.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of like the nostalgic stuff. I like seeing what stuff is worth. Sometimes they'll get into sports memorabilia.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was telling the boys earlier, I took a crack at a documentary last night. I watched part 1 of the Charlie Sheen documentary. I can't remember the title of the show.
It's AKA Charlie Sheen, I believe.
Okay, thank you. It's a two-parter. I saw part 1 last night, and I'll get around to part 2, hopefully in the future. Charlie Sheen. That dude smoked rock. So I don't know if you would take a shot at that.
It sounded like
I want to watch that.
Yeah, I want to watch that too, hopefully this weekend. It sounded like he didn't know how to say the word no when offered certain experiences. Whatever you got, he'll try it. Whatever you want to do, he'll do it.
It's a fair statement. At least
Kind of by accident last night, I caught the last half hour of the Roberto Clemente documentary on the History Channel. That was pretty good.
I'd like to try that. I'd like to try.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite athlete turned actor? Take your time, if you have to. Your favorite athlete turned actor. A website called BuzzFeed put this together. 19 athletes who nailed the transition to Hollywood. And they even went as far as to say these athletes have so much range. You know, they're excellent at the sport that sprung them into the spotlight. They were great athletes and also made a nice transition to Hollywood. Did anyone come to mind for you, Brad Ryder?
I can't think of any. I mean, I can think of athletes turned actors, but I can't think of one that is my favorite.
What about you, Cubby, or Dana?
Well, I would have said O.J. Simpson, but that has changed. I thought he was very funny. I'll say Carl Weathers.
Oh, yeah.
He's in a lot of I love the Rocky franchise. Predator is one of my favorite movies, The Mandalorian.
That's a great answer. That's not a cliche answer either. Carl Weathers, the late Carl Weathers, we lost him not that long ago.
I'm not sure this guy was a great actor, but I thought he was always pretty cool that I'd see him on TV after seeing him on the football field. Merlin Olsen.
Oh, sure. Merlin Olsen was terrific.
House on the Prairie episodes, yeah.
Terrific ball player for the Los Angeles Rams back in the day. Did a fine job as a color analyst covering National Football League games. And then, what was his character name again on Little House on the Prairie? He was Isaiah. No, that was Merlin. What the hell was his name? I still watch Little House on the Prairie all the time.
Oh, it's a great show.
Yeah.
Not Isaiah Edwards. That was the other guy. Someone come up with that if they can. Look up what Merlin Olsen. Dana, you have a favorite athlete turned actor?
You're not going to like it, but
John Cena.
Yeah, I find John Cena very entertaining.
I like John Cena.
I do too. I just know it pisses Nick off.
I know he's a bad actor.
He's not a good actor. That's
he's
the thing.
Not a good actor, but he's so likable in my opinion.
He's very funny. In comedy movies, he's very funny. I don't want to see the guy try to do that thing where I'm going to try a dramatic role now, but I do find him very entertaining.
He's certainly entertaining. He's certainly funny. We've had him in studio once or twice. I mean, he's a wonderful guy to be around. I have 99% of the things I have to say about John Cena are positive. He's a terrible actor.
Oh, he's not a very good actor, though.
Yeah, he's just kind of playing himself.
But I do enjoy watching. I think in Peacemaker, he's perfect for the role.
So good.
He's just this big, dumb brute with a huge heart.
Yep.
React however you want to this. BuzzFeed's list of the 19 athletes who nailed the transition to Hollywood. It's in no particular order. They're not trying to rank people as far as I can tell. But John Cena is the first name. John Cena is the first name mentioned. The Marine is where he made his debut.
I never saw that one. I heard that was bad.
That was tough.
Yeah.
Train wreck, blockers. You mentioned Peacemaker.
Peacemaker is my favorite thing he's done.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt.
Although he was good in, wasn't he in Daddy's Home?
Oh, I never saw those ones.
Those were pretty funny.
Terry Crews.
Oh, sure. He's very funny, too.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he's wonderful.
I know him from Everybody Hates Chris.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
He was the
one.
dad on there. He was great.
He's very likable. You know, and it's touchy here. I mean, how far do you take this as far as an athlete turned actor? You know, do we count Burt Reynolds? I mean, because he played some college football. Do we count... You know what I'm saying? We'll get there.
Yeah, I think they've got to be famous athletes too, don't they, before they get on that list?
I don't know. We'll keep it wide open for now. The list included Dave Bautista.
Yeah, I like watching him.
Mm-hmm.
Never in a million years would I have, when I watched Dave Bautista as a television wrestler, never in a million years, just by looking at the guy, would I have guessed that he would become a pretty respected actor.
Absolutely.
He doesn't look the same lately.
No.
Have you seen how thin he is?
Well, he's no longer on the gas, I would imagine.
Probably.
I mean,
I don't know.
He was the size of a house, like a lot of guys on television wrestling, because, I mean, come on.
The Rock maintained his size. Dave Bautista looks so different.
God knows what The Rock, Dave Bautista, and others are pumping into their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing Dave Bautista dummied down the amount. Here is The Rock.
Yeah, I think he's pretty great.
Who I still, as an actor, I can't take it seriously.
Anybody
I think he
remember Fred Dryer?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Fred Dryer was Hunter.
Yep.
Television show called Hunter. Others included Marshawn Lynch is being called an actor now.
Well, I don't know if he's really he kind of plays himself
in a lot of things.
And
yeah.
he can be very funny.
They mentioned a program called Bottoms. Ooh, I'd like to get a look at that. They mentioned a show called Westworld and another program called Freaky Tales connected to Marshawn Lynch, who, of course, was an NFL running back. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, I guess that never would have came to mind.
So that's the part where,
I guess, he was a power lifter.
He was what do they call it when you get
Mr. Olympia? Or
well,
Olympus?
yeah, but you put the
bodybuilder.
Bodybuilder, yeah, he was a bodybuilder.
Well, then I'm changing my answer. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You do.
I mean, shoot, I wouldn't have considered him to fit into this category.
Right. I mean, keep your options open here. Everything from, Jackie Chan is mentioned here because he was a martial artist. He won every martial arts award in the world, and then they put him in movies. LeBron James is terrible.
Oh, God. Space Jam 2 was so stupid.
Oh, I heard it wasn't as bad as advertised, but it was as bad.
It was fun, but he was terrible. He's playing himself.
How about Joe Namath? He was great on that Brady Bunch episode.
I'll tell you, Brad Ryder, and again, we're talking about athletes turned actors. BuzzFeed kicked out an article. Joe Namath was given an honorable mention. And I don't remember. I edited that out because I didn't think that Joe Namath would come up. I don't think they mentioned the Brady Bunch episode. They mentioned some other things, and I couldn't tell you.
Well, did the Harlem Globetrotters get an honorable mention for teaming up with Scooby-Doo as well?
They were terrific in that episode or two where the Harlem Jim Brown, I think I said him out loud, Chuck Norris. They give Kareem Abdul-Jabbar some credit for not only his role in Airplane, but something called Glass Onion, something called Troop Beverly Hills.
My sister loved that movie growing up. It was always on in her house.
Jason Lee.
Oh, the skateboarder. That's right. I forgot that he was a professional skateboarder.
He's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Ryder, did you ever watch the television show They Call Me Earl? What the hell was the name of that?
My Name is Earl.
You ever watch
My Name is Earl?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, my damn. Such a perfectly done, wonderfully hilarious television show from top to bottom. I loved that show. And I don't know who said something about, Brad said The Office, and Dana, you said you can see it any time.
Yeah, it's always on.
Why isn't there a friggin' channel on my television setup that plays My Name is Earl? I can watch Different Strokes, All in the Family. We mentioned Hunter. I can watch Hunter. I can watch The Love Boat, Heart to Heart. Name any friggin' show that ever had any measure of success. I have those channels where you can find All in the Family, Cosby Show. Nobody shows My Name is Earl. Maybe
you can stream it.
I don't know how to do that.
One of my favorite things they did in that show is that episode where they wanted to get drunk on the golf course and not have to pay for any drinks. So they kept taking the ball that was hit towards the green and putting it in the hole. So the person thought they got a hole in one, and they had to buy the whole course around of drinks.
Again, some of these names mentioned as great athletes turned great actor. It's not just anyone who tried acting. This report was actors who made the transition to Hollywood beautifully, right? They were given a lot of credit for not only their athletic ability, but their skills as actors. Why Ronda Rousey made this report, I have no idea.
Yeah, the list that they gave of her movies, I haven't seen any of them. I stopped after the second Expendables, and she was in the third.
Mm-hmm. She's an awful, awful actor.
Oh, she's in Fast 7, and her scene, you could tell that they didn't give her much dialogue for a reason. It was so stiff and so forced. It was just painful to watch.
Rick Fox is a great answer. Rick Fox is in this. If you don't know, Rick Fox was a terrific college and professional basketball player for a lot of years. Handsome sumbitch. And I have seen him a couple times. I'm not able to follow a lot of this, as you guys know. I don't watch a lot of television at all. But I've seen him a couple times. He's good.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he married to Vanessa Williams, too?
I know they were at one point.
That I don't know, Brad Ryder. But what I do know is at one point or another, he was linked romantically to Eliza Bydam Mean Jean Dushku, who I find to be one of the most stunning women of all time. So I don't know about Vanessa Williams, but I know Rick Fox. They mentioned Stupid Shaq. I didn't know Serena Williams was an actor, but they give her credit for a show called Glass Onion, Ocean's 8 Pixels. And finally, they actually give Michael Jordan some credit here for Space Jam and He Got Game.
Oh, I
haven't seen those.
Forgot he made a cameo on that one.
But, we could do this all day. Bubba Smith was a very funny comedy actor once he got done with football. Ed O'Neill. And again, we're pushing the parameters a little bit because Ed O'Neill played, a little bit of college football. I mean, Ed O'Neill was never in the National Football League, was he? You're a big fan, Josh. Do you know?
I don't know. I mean, I've heard he played football, but did that stop at college? Was he?
I didn't think he was a national. I don't know.
I guess I'm living in the past because Rick Fox and Vanessa Williams were married for 5 years, but they divorced in 2004.
Okay.
Do you see that he was romantically linked to Eliza Dushku?
Yeah, like 5 years.
After that, for about 5 years.
I can't even watch her on television. I start tearing at my pants, Josh.
Yeah, I understand. She's attractive. What about Alex Karras? Anybody mention Alex yet?
No. That's
Mongo.
And, of course, his role on Webster.
Yep, he was awesome in Webster.
Andre the Giant.
Oh, he was fun to watch, sure.
I mean, I know he only had one or two roles, but, his role in The Princess Bride is one of the most memorable, in my opinion, in movie history.
Oh, he's great.
Bob Uecker.
Sure.
Oh, definitely.
So, again, we could do it all day long. Rowdy Roddy Piper, Howie Long, Terry Bradshaw, Lou Ferrigno, Ed Marinero, Hulk Hogan, Dennis Rodman, Steve Austin, Randy Orton. Even, Josh, they even mentioned Tony Danza as an athlete turned actor.
For boxing?
Yes. Because he was I'd forgotten that. Tony Danza was a professional boxer. I think he was fairly regional, like an East Coast guy, but he was a professional boxer. Anyone else come to mind, Brad Ryder?
No. Other really obscure ones maybe, but they just do commercials, and I'm not going to count them.
Go ahead, say them.
Yeah, go for it.
Like the Manning brothers and,
sure, I guess just
like that.
Yeah. The Mannings do a great job with their television. They're likable as hell.
I thought Kevin Garnett was great in Uncut Gems.
Oh, I've heard that. And I've heard Anthony Edwards is a good actor.
Yes,
I haven't seen him
he's in the other Adam Sandler basketball movie. He was fantastic. He stole the show.
I couldn't make it through either one of them.
You couldn't?
Nope.
Especially just because of Sandler or just because of the premises?
Who do you think you're talking to here? Of course it was because of Sandler. I watched the first 20 minutes of that Uncut Gems where he's just screaming and cursing, and the acting was so bad I just shut it off.
It's very intense.
Here's one from the Brother and Sisterhood, Jesse Ventura. I enjoyed his movies.
Like I said, we could do this all day, and the text message machine is just pouring in. Brian Bosworth, Bill Goldberg.
The Boz, yeah.
Who did you say a minute ago?
Just right a second ago? Jesse Ventura?
I had something.
Alex Karras?
No, I had something and I lost it. At any rate. Oh, I got it. It's right here. Josh, people are even including Mark Harmon because at one point or another in the early 70s, he was a pro surfer or something like that.
Well, I saw also Tommy Lee Jones was mentioned because he played college football.
All right.
Again,
what the hell? It's unbelievable.
This is a stretch.
Unbelievable. Lots of folks have made that transition. Dick Butkus, Jesus balls. Like I said, we could do it all day. Mike Madonna was in the Mighty Ducks. Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't bring that up immediately, Dana, or did you just hold back?
Sometimes I hold back. I already brought up a couple of Blink-182 today. I brought up Adam Sandler already.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't poke the bear too much.
Good call.
Dan Marino was in Ace Ventura. John Sally was in this and that. And
Terry Bradshaw had a couple romantic comedies in the 2000s.
Well, yeah, we mentioned Terry Bradshaw.
We did?
He got his start in Cannonball Run.
Okay.
You know, Josh?
Former Gopher hockey player Nate Miller was in Miracle.
Nate Miller.
Did anybody say Mike Ditka?
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. Mike Ditka. Right. He was in a couple of movies with Will Ferrell or something.
Yeah, he was pretty funny.
What was just said out loud? Jason, what was the name of the hockey player? Nate Miller?
Nate Miller.
The great Kali. It's going to go on and on and on.
What was he in?
The Longest Yard for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, we just talked about him. He was in The Longest Yard. Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was in, what was that MacGyver parody?
Oh, MacGruber.
MacGruber, that was absolute feces.
I love that movie.
Why?
It's hilarious.
It is not hilarious. It's brutal. It's awful.
I haven't seen it.
But his cameo, they have all those wrestlers, and they're all loading up to go on the big mission. They're in the truck. Then he forgets the C4s in there, and they all die.
Cam Neely and, again, the two guys going across country. Dumb and Dumber. Wilt Chamberlain was in Conan the Destroyer. Yes, we mentioned Hulk Hogan. Yes, we mentioned O.J. Simpson. Yes, we mentioned Howie Long. Now, speaking of...
O'Neal's been in some movies.
We mentioned Shaq already, Brad Ryder.
Yeah.
We did.
Okay.
Should be in prison. Speaking of all this entertainment movies, series, this and that, Kenan Thompson, who I really love that kid.
It took a while for me to see his brilliance.
All I have to do is look at Kenan Thompson, and I'm in a better mood than I was 10 seconds prior. I love that kid. I would love to hang out with him just for a few hours, have a few beers.
He was really good. I saw him host a couple of what is it called? New Year's Eve shows. Very funny. He's very quick. And he actually was, I don't want to rip on some of the other, there's some big-time comedians he was on a panel with, and he destroyed. He was way funnier than some of the funniest people out there.
Hell yeah.
I've been watching that guy since I was a kid.
And don't be texting in about Travis Kelce being an actor. You're just trying to start trouble. I know it. Kenan Thompson, he has a production company. He's a big friggin' wheel over there in Hollywood now, Kenan Thompson. His production company is developing a Macho Man Randy Savage biopic. How do you say it?
Biopic, I've heard.
Ooh, would I like to see the story of Macho Man Randy Savage, if told properly.
Mm-hmm.
If told properly.
Maybe they get one of the guys from the Iron Claw to play him.
You dickbag. Oh, God, the Iron Claw.
You couldn't hold back on that one.
No.
Oh, I left the theater so pissed off I couldn't even walk straight. That was such a giant waste of time. Awful,
Did you
terrible.
Stick it out for the whole thing, though?
Yeah, of course I did. I had nothing else to do, Brad. I'm in my 50s now. You know how that goes. Hell yeah, I stuck it out just long enough to see the worst imitation of Ric Flair ever done. Ever.
I don't know how that movie got through test screenings and left that impression in, because that was awful.
Everything about that movie was terrible. But I'd love to see, like, say, when the WWE produces a documentary, they leave out all the good stuff.
Of course, yeah.
Because they want to act like none of the bad stuff ever happened. If the WWE made a biopic on Macho Man Randy Savage, it would be, he started out playing baseball. Him and Elizabeth had a nice run. And then he retired.
Yep.
They would skip all the good stuff. So I hope that Kenan Thompson and his production company tell the story properly because, we're talking about an absolute legend.
Blissfully Ignorant Jesus texted in another suggestion for an athlete turned actor, and this is one of my favorite actors, Jason Statham. I forgot he was like an Olympic diver.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow. I'll put him on that list.
I wouldn't have told. I couldn't have been able to. No way I could have come up with that. Jason Statham, before he got into acting, was an Olympic diver. Well, he's got the build for it.
Oh, yeah, he does.
You throw him into a pool, he barely makes a splash no matter what position he's in. The guy's like 4'7". But this is really encouraging when I read about the Macho Man Randy Savage biopic. It's based off a script written by Randy's late brother, Lanny.
Oh, that is intriguing.
Who was, remember his character when he was had a moment in the sun in television wrestling? Well, he had two. He was Leaping Lanny Poffo.
Yep.
But also, he would come out, Josh, with a cap and gown because he was the genius, Randy Poffo. And before every match, he would dump some unbelievable fact, that he knows because he's a genius and you're not. Oh, man. All right. Brad Ryder has joined us this morning. Randy Shaver off for the rest of the week. I love this. This is what I wanted, a quarterback controversy. It says here, Vikings reporters are suggesting that unproven and injury-prone Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy's job is in serious jeopardy. Serious jeopardy, Brad Ryder.
I don't think so.
Well, like we discussed last week, we'll see how Mr. Carson Wentz looks in the next couple of weeks. If he's playing well, it would make sense to keep playing him. But, as I said before, O'Conrad and McCarthy are scissor partners. Yeah. I think Kelvin O'Conrad will do everything he can to get McCarthy back out there on the field again because the two of them are deeply in love. Deeply in love.
I was never the hugest fan of the draft pick to begin with, but I'm not ready to give up on him completely, and I don't think the team's going to be either.
Yeah, I agree. Saw a funny picture online, Josh. It's a picture of current Vikings starting quarterback, Mr. Carson Wentz, right next to a picture of former Vikings quarterback, what was his name from last year?
Sam Bradford?
No.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, yeah.
So it's got Mr. Carson Wentz on one side and Sam Darnold on the other. And it said the Minnesota Vikings are 15-3 when they have a ginger starting at quarterback.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty good.
Funny.
It's funny that people pick that up.
Uh-huh.
A ginger starting at that's an 83.33% win rate, the highest of any team ever starting ginger quarterback.
Wow.
You know, if J.J. McCarthy had a sense of humor, he'd dye his hair red when he came back.
Yes. Yes. The Giants have gone ahead and benched quarterback Russell Wilson for a young kid by the name of Jackson Dart. They're looking to save their season. Dart will start Sunday against the undefeated Los Angeles Charger. Dart hasn't attempted a pass in his 2 regular season appearances. He's had 6 snaps as a quarterback. Hasn't attempted a pass yet. He carried the ball twice himself and handed it off 4 times. But he had a strong preseason, they say.
Mr. Limited.
What? He's been limited.
Mr. Limited.
I don't know this Jackson Dart. Should I know this kid, Brad Ryder?
Well, they spent a high first-round draft pick on him. So, again...
Where'd he come out of school? Where did he study?
I got to look that up. I'm not sure.
It's a cool name, if nothing else.
It's all right. Dart.
I don't
know. That opens up some...
But does he spell Jackson with an X, though? That's kind of cool.
Does he spell Jackson with an X?
I think he does, yeah.
He went to Ole Miss.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Nothing good ever came out of Ole Miss.
That doesn't sound right to me. Dart, his classmates picked on him.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that angle.
Oh, they could get plenty creative. I mean, even as simple as Shart, just rhyming ones, much less some of the action ones, right.
NFL fans have fallen into lust with Aiden Hutchinson's mother. Now, in case you don't know, Aiden Hutchinson plays on the defensive line for the Detroit Lions. And the Monday Night Football cameras showed Aiden's mama on television once or twice on Monday night when the Lions were playing Baltimore, and it's caused all the NFL dorks to start jacking it.
She is stunning, to say the least.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Oh, no?
You I wonder if that's what led him to be a big, tough guy. He just decided, I'm going to hit the weight room. I can't handle another your mom joke.
He was just this skinny little kid.
His mom's too attractive.
His mom's walking around.
The whole family's good looking. I just pulled up a picture of the family.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The whole family is.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Josh is maybe right. You can only handle that for so long as a 10, 11-year-old kid. Your mother's walking around in jean skirts and tank tops and all your bros that come uncorked. You're going to, I'm going to start kicking somebody's ass pretty soon.
His mom was 1988 Miss Michigan Teen USA.
No kidding.
And his older sister was Miss Michigan USA 2022.
Yeah, good genes in that
family. Yeah, the whole family's doing okay.
So MILF jokes are pouring into social media over Aiden Hutchinson Mommel.
Wasn't he the guy, like, I thought a reporter his rookie year made some joke about it, and folks weren't too happy. I think that was him. Yeah, his mom is quite attractive.
They made a MILF joke?
Yeah, or referenced it in some way that people thought was a bit inappropriate.
Cougar jokes, MILF jokes, every damn thing. I suppose look her up. I saw one tiny little, I don't know. Go ahead. Josh, could you find me a good one of Aiden Hutchinson, Mama?
Sure.
Because I just saw one little,
Yeah, she's 53.
I think it'd be difficult to find a bad one of her, to be honest.
Oh, yeah?
To reverse those numbers, she looks 35.
There's one.
What? That woman is my age?
I know.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, she's no Eliza Dushku, but she's doing all right. She's doing all right. Mike Gundy has been fired by Oklahoma State. He'd been the head football coach of the Cowboys for the last 20 years. Yes, I know he has a mullet. Ha, ha, ha. Yes, I know he was the guy who cut loose with the now very tired I'm a man, I'm 40 bit. Ha, ha, ha. But he's the winningest coach in Oklahoma State history. But the team is off to a poor start. Last season sucked, too. He finished with a record overall of 170 wins and 90 losses. That ain't bad, but you know how big-time sports operate these days. Nobody gets an opportunity to work their way out of a tough spot anymore. Fire this guy, fire that gal, fire. You got to fire the coach.
That ain't bad at a school like that where you got to compete against Oklahoma every year in recruiting.
Right.
Yeah, he had a great run.
Yeah.
Somebody sent in a screenshot of a Google search they just made on their phone for Aiden Hutchinson. And you know what? It'll give you suggestions on what other people have searched.
Oh, sure. The verbiage.
Yes. She's third on the list of suggestions. It just starts out with simply Aiden Hutchinson, then it goes to Aiden Hutchinson stats, and then Aiden Hutchinson mom. I mean, usually it's like net worth, a wife, things like that.
Dude's going to snap, isn't he? He's going to choke somebody out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who was the player a couple years ago where people were touching themselves over his mother? The MILF man.
Yeah, it was the MILF man, wasn't
What's
it?
his name again?
Zach Wilson?
Josh, do the same with Zach Wilson and see how far you go before it's Zach Wilson's mother, because she was the target a couple years ago, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah. Let's see if...
I'm guessing if the mom is second, the sister might be third.
Oh,
is his sister attractive?
Yeah, she was Miss Michigan 2022, I think.
We're talking about Zach Wilson now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It doesn't come up. It goes his name and then draft, trade, stats, height, contract, team, news, college stats.
The buzz is over. The trend is come and gone.
And that may be who I was thinking of, actually, of the reporter asking a question about hot moms. I think it was Zach Wilson.
Oh, and he got a little prickly about
it.
it.
Yeah, other people did for him.
Did you have that hot mom up there in Clara City? What's your name again? Brad Ryder. Do you have that? Your buddy had a hot mom?
I could get in some trouble here, so I'm gonna.
What do you mean get in trouble?
Oh, it's just complimentary.
I'll just say, yeah, there were a couple.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what are you afraid to offend your buddies? You guys are in your 50s now. They can't handle a conversation about their hot mom?
I wouldn't want that coming back at a class reunion or anything.
Oh,
see, we were very open about it.
Uh-oh, should we be in trouble? I mean, it's not. I'll tell you what, your friend, Brad, is very much aware. Yeah, we had a buddy whose mom could have been, name a year, Miss America. And his older sister, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and trust me, he was very much aware, because if he were ever to forget, he would be reminded over and over and over by friends and classmates.
So you guys didn't bust balls like that, Brad?
I don't remember doing that, no.
Okay, we were very mean about it. We were very open about what we thought of each other.
Small towns, word gets around real fast.
But that's okay. That's not that bad of a word. I mean, your mom is hot. Well, how is that? I mean, anyway.
I wonder how hot moms... I mean, they're probably flattered a little bit, maybe a bit creeped out at the same time.
Of course they're flattered, I would assume. Yeah, a couple
We've got a hot mom, Sheezus. Maybe she could text in and let us know her thoughts.
I've met her before. I have met hot mom Sheezus before. And
hot mom?
Word. Met her at a bowling alley, too. So you would have thought she and I would be together. The perfect combination. Hot mom, and I'm at one of my favorite places in the world, the bowling alley. But it didn't work out. We were pretty nasty with our friends who had hot moms, but they took it well. They knew, like Josh said, they knew. Until one day, when one of us saw that hot mom naked. So my buddy Donnie had a hot mom. And my other buddy, let's call him, Pistol Pete. Yeah, it was Pistol Pete. Pistol Pete goes over to see Donnie one day. Donnie's family had a pool. And Pistol Pete comes around the corner, just like in the movies. And Donnie's mom is laid out by the pool, naked. You know, she dives under a towel, total embarrassing moment. Pistol Pete mentioned to Donnie that he saw his mother naked every day for the next 5 years. And it was so perfect because any conversation we had for the next 5 years, you knew it was coming. Pistol Pete was going to slip that in there. Hey, dude. And Donnie would turn around. Yeah? Saw your mom naked.
Why is it like every hot mom I've ever known, they had a pool? Is that on purpose? Is that a coincidence?
Good question. Good question. Twins put together a nice win in Arlington, Texas last night, beating the Rangers 4-1. That's the Rangers' 8th loss in a row, and they've been officially eliminated from any shot at the playoff. Texas has really stunk it up at the worst possible time. They were within 2 games of the AL West lead on September 13th, and in the thick of the wild card chase, they haven't won a game since.
There's some teams that have really laid eggs the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. Who do you
3
suppose?
or 4.
Who's the other one I'm about ready to break up? Or the word is bring up, yes.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Guardians beat the Tigers last night, so those 2 clubs sit atop the American League Central Division, all squared up at 85 wins and 72 losses apiece. There are 3 more games in this series. She's going to come down to the bitter end. The Tigers are wetting the bed, and this type of bedwetting is always fun to watch.
It is.
And then another one is Houston.
Right. They've now fallen out of the wild card spot, have they not?
They have.
Yes. So
Seattle just keeps winning. I was watching a little bit of their game last night. They were down a whole game, and then they get a 3-run double in the bottom of the 8th and won 4-3.
I love it. Back to the Twins real quick. Those 2 clubs, the Twins and Rangers, will play again tonight. Zebby Matthews was terrific last night. Zebby Matthews. Oh, in that Cleveland Guardians game, Cleveland's designated hitter, David Fry,
I saw this.
He took a 99-mile-per-hour fastball to the teeth, and the poor bastard ended up in a hospital bed. I think it glanced off of his bat a little bit, but he caught most of it. Oh, dude. In the yapper. He squared up to bunt.
Yep.
He was squared up to bunt. Detroit's Tariq Skubal gave him the gas, a 99-mile-per-hour fastball, and it about tore this dude's lips off for him. Skubal was all kinds of shook up by what happened. Did you see the reaction by the pitcher, Josh?
Yeah, sometimes that's worse, right? When you see the reaction of the players.
He looked like he wanted to puke.
He really wasn't that far off the plate.
No.
He was squared out. He was squared out over the plate.
Yeah. Skubal looked like he wanted to puke. So this Fry kid was laid out in the dirt for a good 10 minutes. He gave a thumbs-up signal as he was driven off in the golf cart. No way that dude has any chiclets left there in the top rack. No way. The cheap seats are empty. That dude lost all of his effing teeth.
Every bone in his nose had to have been broken, too.
And it's going to be pretty hard to eat corn on the cob without any effing teeth. What movie? 651-989-9393. Going to be hard to eat corn on the cob without any effing teeth. I look forward to your answers. The Yankees clinched a spot in the playoffs last night. The Mariners did as well, Brad Ryder.
Opposite of.
I know you're a big Mariners fan.
I'm on them, yeah.
Swinging from their jock.
I am.
And finally, here we go. The word is Big League Baseball is going to go ahead with the robot umpires next season. For real skis. The future is now, Brad Ryder. This was approved by a competition committee. The automated strike zone challenge system will be a thing. for the 20 and 26 season. And I don't like it.
Okay, I missed this. How are they going to – they're not going to just – they're still going to have umpires behind the plate,
Yes.
right?
Did you see what they did at the All-Star game? Did you see any preseason stuff?
No.
Okay. Well, they used it at spring training. They used it in some other leagues, and they did. I think I'm right about that. They used it during this year's All-Star game. If you want to know how it works, for Christ's sake, they call it the ABS system, short for Automated Balls and Strikes. With the new system, human umpires will still be behind the, plate. They'll still call every pitch. But both teams can appeal 2 calls per game to this ABS system. You keep your challenge if your appeal is successful. The pitcher, catcher, and hitter are the only personnel, as they say, who can challenge a ball or strike. Managers and coaches cannot challenge.
Well, you know what's going to happen. They're going to have somebody in the dugout looking at every pitch, and they're going to yell out or give some sort of signal to the batter or the catcher to challenge.
Probably, but only the pitcher, catcher, and hitter can officially appeal to the umpire. This system runs on something called Hawkeye, which is the technology that powers something called StatCast. They measure the height of every player before the season starts so they can customize the strike zone for every player. This is very complex, futuristic stuff here. The writing's been on the wall for some time now, as a lot of you know. So I don't necessarily like it, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. I got used to all the other changes over the last few years. I'm sure I'll get used to it. I just, as you guys very well are familiar with, I don't like any form of replay. I don't like any kind of video challenge. I just wish that referees and officials were allowed to call the game as they see it. That's how I was raised. Yes, it bones your team once in a while, but that was part of the fun. It really was. That was part of the fun. It's okay to lose now and again. It's okay to get screwed now and again by the officials. That's what was fun about sports for me growing up. Oh, my God, that dude.
As long as it's a quick process, as long as it doesn't take 3,
I'm sure it will be.
to look at it.
The processes we see now in baseball, to me, unless I'm forgetting something, seem, I don't know, quick enough. It depends on what they're looking at. But I think they'll make it quick. They know they have to make it quick because they're so in fear of losing one person nowadays in sports. You have to make everybody happy. So I just thought it was, sucked when your team, the dude that caught the football at the back of the end zone, he had 1 foot out of bounds, but the referee called it a touchdown anyway. I know it sucked, but at the same time, that's what made the sport so much fun. Like I said, it's okay to lose. It's okay to get screwed by the refs.
Would you be more on board with robot umpires if they had the robot from Rocky IV standing behind the plate?
Paulie's girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah, put a real robot back there.
I think that'd be kind of fun.
Dress up a robot. Dress a robot up in a little ump's outfit. Having it making little slow, robotic moves. Now, there are plenty of people who jumped online right away and said, why are they even bothering with this system? Keeping an umpire out there and a challenge system available. Why not just every pitch should be automatically determined by a computer?
That's coming next.
Right. I'm sure it will. But it says here, someone online said there's an opportunity to get 100% of the calls correct. Why wouldn't you adopt that? Just let the machine call all the pitches. I don't want to see that day come, but it will.
I always thought it was cool, like when you watch the broadcast and they show where every pitch went. They'll put a little graphic. So they obviously, I guess I don't know how accurate it is, but let's say it is. They've got the technology. It is pretty cool. And, they'll put the ball there and then the speed of each pitch, that kind of thing.
Just the other day.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it is. It is. You're a techie guy. I can see how you'd be drawn to that. Just the other day, just for a goof, I don't know why, I was watching the 1981 legendary play from college football between Cal and Stanford. The band is on the field, right? We had a conversation about, maybe that's why I was watching the video. We had a conversation about it a couple weeks ago. That unbelievable kickoff return where California lateraled it 16 times and went into the end zone and knocked the trombone player on their ass. If you don't know it, look it up. I think it's just, if you look up the band is on the field. You'll find it on YouTube. But when watching it, was a California guy who was carrying the ball, was he clearly down 35 yards away from the end zone? Yeah, he was clearly down. That play should have never happened. But that's what makes it so much fun.
Can you imagine going to replay in that game with the band on the field?
Oh, yeah. So there we go. That's where we're at, Brad Ryder, if that is really you and not a robot.
This is why you should watch golf, Nick. There's no replay in golf.
None at all?
No.
Well, if they just made it more fun to watch in general, I probably would be a golf fan. But, rich douche whacking around a ball, no. I didn't know that. Golf doesn't deal with that. Well, what would you possibly replay in golf?
That's just it. There's nothing to replay. It's either in the hole or it's not.
Well, yeah, but what about those guys who kind of kick the ball forward into a better spot, right? You've done that, I bet, on the golf course, Brad. The ball's in the rough and you kind of kick it onto the green when nobody's looking?
No, I've never done that.
What?
Or if a guy grounds a club and then pulls it back, that's a stroke penalty.
What does that mean, grounds?
Yeah, I don't know that either.
You have the club on the ground, physically touching the ground. At that point, you got to swing.
Oh, man. Here's a listener who texted in to say AEW wrestling doesn't have replay. I suppose they don't.
Could you imagine wrestling had a challenge system?
That would be kind of fun. I bet they could make that funny.
Oh, I bet they could,
I've watched a few matches where a dude got a little off balance and the ref 1, 2, 3, and you say to yourself, that guy's shoulders actually weren't down. You know what I mean? But, it's television wrestling. All right, Brad Ryder, thanks for your help there, brother, man.
Okay.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. Tomorrow's our final. We'll talk to you then, Brad Ryder.
Okay.
Thank you very much. We'll be back with more from the Half-Assed Morning Show here in a couple minutes.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey, podcast pals. Dana here to give you a friendly reminder that now is the best time to get your furnace tuned up before we take a shot to the face with cold Minnesota weather. My pals at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning currently have same-day and next-day openings, but they won't last long. By the time October rolls around, if your furnace craps out, you'll be freezing your private parts off while dealing with side eye from your significant other and pets for not calling sooner. So give Standard Heating and Air Conditioning a call today. Check this out. You can save up to $70 on your tune-up with Standard Heating. Visit standardheating.com. That's standardheating.com to book today.
This episode brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can get a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help find you options within your budget. Try it today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Hi, I'm Joe Saul-Sehy, host of the Stacking Benjamins podcast. Today, we're going to talk about what if you came across $50,000? What would you do?
Put it into a tax-advantaged retirement account.
The mortgage, that's what we do.
Make a down payment on a home.
Something nice.
Buying a vehicle.
A separate bucket for this addition that we're adding.
$50,000, I'll buy a new podcast.
You'll
partner.
buy new friends. And we're done. Thanks for playing, everybody. We're out of here. Stacking Benjamins. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Half-Assed Morning Show 93.
I can't say enough about these incredible crowds. You're all tuned in to the Wednesday issue of the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, and we appreciate it so damn much. Each day around here, Josh, I'd say is better than the next.
That's how I feel.
If and you don't mind, I'd like to go back to something we were jaw-jacking about with Brad Ryder. Real quick, we don't have to dwell on it, but I just got a terrific text message from a feller by the name of Dairy Feeding Jesus. We were talking with Brad Ryder about how Major League Baseball has decided to go with the robot umpires next season. We'll deal with it next season. Yes, there'll still be an umpire out there, but the players can say, well, I don't think that was a strike. Let's check with the robot. And the robot will say, yes, it was, or no, it. I don't like replay of any kind, review, whatever you call it. His knee was down at the 1-inch line. I hate all that crap. Always have, always will. And Dairy Feeding Jesus sent a great text on the topic. And he said, replay and the fact that challenges are a thing in sports pretty much has eliminated the chance to create a new rivalry. Human error and bad calls and hurt feelings make rivalries. And it's a part of life. These punks have everything so perfect. A blown call made games back in the day to an all-time great game. I said what I said.
You said it.
You said it.
I agree with everything, the passion, everything behind your text message. Dairy Feeding Jesus.
Do you think, my theory would be this has a lot, if not almost everything to do with sports betting.
Bingo.
So I think it'll be this way in every sport. They can't have a ref would be beaten and murdered if somebody lost enough money. And they already get death threats and stuff like that. It's got to be, right?
Sucks, but true.
I'm sure there's other reasons as well, but it seems to me like it will never go back because of sports betting and how prevalent that is.
I think you're right, Josh. And I like the way you delivered your message as well.
Hey, I said what I said.
By the way, I never acknowledged that John Deere Jesus was the first to correctly answer my cute little movie quote trivia question 10, 15 minutes ago when I uttered the quote, "It's hard to eat corn on the cob without any effing teeth." And the correct answer is the Blues Brothers. That's when the Blues Brothers met the good old boys over there at Bob's Country Bunker. Josh, can we thank the listener again for the bobblehead dolls? Tell me again the name of the listener who presented us with bobblehead dolls in our image.
I'll try anything twice, Jesus. Very, very kind of him. And very impressive, these bobbleheads.
Whoever, if you made them yourself, I'll try anything twice, Jesus. Wah-wah-wee-wah. They're beautiful. They're very accurate. We had a box sent to us this morning. We opened it up, and inside is a Nick and a Josh bobblehead doll gifted to us. We've received some great gifts over the years, and we encourage our listeners to
No, we don't.
send us gifts.
Unnecessary. Very much appreciated, but please, we owe you.
Send us things. This might be one of the finest gifts I've ever received. Bobblehead dolls in my likeness and in Cubby's likeness. And they're very, very accurate, even down to my crooked teeth and my disgusting feet slapped into a pair of flip-flops. I got a beer in one hand, the other hand's in my pocket. I mean, just awesome. Thank you very, very much for even thinking of such a thing.
Yeah, these are dressed exactly like us. I have the same stupid face I make in pictures. And my head shape is perfect because it's way more from front to back. It's gigantic.
Yeah,
but
can I see yours up close? I want to see the face.
It's perfect.
Yeah, you do look a little, as you always do in photos, you look uncomfortable. You look a little fearful. You look very unsure of yourself. That's how true to life these bobblehead dolls are.
I was talking to some new friends on the boat last week, and this is part of it for me. I'm overthinking it because I know I look stupid in photos. So it's like I was given a golf lesson from a roommate of mine he's a golf pro. And it's like, okay, you got to put your shoulders this way, you got to look this way, you got to switch your hips that way. And there were so many things to think of. Once I thought of one, I'm moving on to 2, 3 others. So in those, I'm thinking, okay, don't have a stupid smile, keep your eyes open, don't look scared, all that kind of stuff. And I overthink it, and it always looks terrible.
These are just outstanding. What would you say? Look at mine, Josh. You know, the face on your bobblehead doll says you're worried. Look at mine. What am I thinking? The Nick bobblehead doll.
It kind of looks like you're watching a couple of girls oil wrestle.
Oh.
And, I mean, it holds the beer the exact way you hold a beer.
I noticed that also.
I mean,
I hold a beer.
The body language on a bobblehead, believe it or not, is exactly right.
The body language for both of our bobblehead dolls are spot on. Yeah, I'm watching a couple gals oil wrestle, and I'm wearing sunglasses so they can't exactly see where I'm looking.
Yeah.
You know, they can't see exactly where I'm looking.
And you've got jeans on and flip-flops.
Sleeveless.
Yeah, sleeveless shirt. It's perfect.
Thanks again. I'll try anything twice, Jesus, and we encourage more gifts to be sent to the radio station.
No, we don't.
Although we should backtrack and say that the package that these dolls were shipped in, we do think we found a little bit of semen in there.
A little frightening.
And that's something
maybe
we
more
encourage.
than a little bit.
You don't we encourage that. Send a sample.
No, now you've
no
gone
gift needed.
A new report says that if your house or apartment is messy as all hell, you're not getting any squish. If that's a fact, then I've got a couple friends and relatives who haven't gotten laid in decades. If your house or apartment is just a gong show mess, you're not getting any action. It more so, I think, deals with married couples than a single guy or gal. It talks about how when you're in a relationship, you're living with someone, and there's clutter everywhere in shared spaces, as they say. It's a big source of tension. But also, I think it's fair to go ahead and say, if your house or apartment, you're a single person, if it's just a trash pile, you're probably not going to get anyone to stick around too long.
And I've lived in some trash piles.
I've never lived in a trash pile. I mean, the house I grew up in was as plain, basic as you can get, but, I think we did a decent enough job of keeping what little items we had organized.
Despite how many people were in our house, it was always spotless because my chesty grandmother was like obsessed with cleanliness.
She had nothing to do all day long.
Yeah, she was retired,
right.
And she absolutely loved to clean. I've only met a few people in my life that love it, and so she loved to clean, loved to organize, loved to cook. So our house was never messy, and maybe that's why I like it. But I'll tell you what, when you move in with a significant other, whether you're married or not, and they're different than you in that regard, it does take a little getting used to. And, my wife, lucky for me, was a package deal. And when you have kids, that was tough to go from 0 to, kids that are 2 and 5.
I would have gone nuts.
Because they're so messy.
I would have gone completely.
It helped me out a lot. So basically, I just have my areas, which are, you can tell the difference in the house between mine and everybody else's. So that kind of helped me not freak out about the whole house being like my brother's the same as me, and maybe it's because of how we were raised. We're very organized and like to keep things clean.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine if he had kids, how miserable he'd be. I mean, just like we're patching drywall holes, socks everywhere,
vomit
crumbs everywhere.
There's feces everywhere. Little babies, right?
Can't
Diapers.
figure it out.
Oh, I would end up in an asylum if I had little kids living in my house. So what trash pile did you live in, Dana? Are you talking about college?
Well, St. Cloud State for sure, but then also after college, me and my roommate, the guy I went to high school with, we moved into an apartment in Minneapolis. We bought weed. We rented
weed.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Did you buy weed?
No, I never bought weed. We rented it strictly based on location. It was near the bars, but it was a total trash pile. And we didn't have any real furniture or anything of value. It's the place, Nick, that I've told this story before where we turned into a shrine to Jamarcus Russell.
Oh, yeah.
By putting those posters up all over the wall.
But what you had, did you keep it organized and relatively decent or not?
Decently enough.
Well, then
I mean, the roof was always leaking and stuff like that.
Well, but that's not what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about if, any kind of place, the most expensive place in the world or the cheapest little rambler in the world, is it a mess inside or is it decent?
We kept it decent.
Yeah.
Although there was one time where there's a girl I was seeing, and we mainly hung out at her place. She came over to my place for the first time, and she went into the bathroom, and she walked out, and she said, "I've done mission trips to third world countries, and that's the most disgusting bathroom I've ever seen, Dana."
Now, that's a whole different animal, I mentioned, the place that I grew up was... There was nothing to it. I can't believe that we survived in that house as long as we did. It was tiny, one bathroom. I can't believe we didn't kill each other. But once I got a little older, I lived in that house with just my dad. And my brother at times was living there as well. The bathroom, totally different animal.
Yeah.
That was repulsive.
Mm-hmm.
We like to be somewhat presentable in every other room in the house. The bathroom, yeah, I look back and I wonder... why couldn't I have just run a damn paper towel up and down just once? It was just so bad.
My wife's gotten better about just leaving stuff everywhere, right? And I've gotten areas where I'm like, okay, here I bought this. We can organize. You throw all your stuff in this or that. But if you check, like, I even organize my drawers, and by that I don't mean my underwear.
Right.
But that too. But every single drawer I have is organized in a way. Hers, it's just everything that's anywhere near is all chucked in that thing. You can barely open them. Some of them are so heavy.
A couple of listeners have texted in, and they want to know, Josh, if you have any more stories about your grandma's boobs. Other than the one.
There's one, yes.
Other than the classic one where you saw her topless.
First one's ever
What's
saw.
the other story?
Oh, that's the one.
Oh, that's the one.
That's the main one.
So the bulk of this report is couples and how one being messier than the other, or both being messy people, can cause problems, fights. Did we have this conversation earlier? Yeah, I think maybe you had a news report, something in your news report about a couple where the gal was so pissed off at her boyfriend she threw away his Xbox.
She sold it. Yeah, he was cheating on her.
She sold
or
it.
So she said, and she sold it.
So if you have one of these messy partners, it says here 40% of people have secretly thrown out some of their stuff just to get it the hell out of the way. Some have gone as far as accidentally breaking things to get it in order to get rid of that item because it's not in its place or it's cluttering the joint up.
Barsaw Jesus said in his dorm room they had a trail through dirty piles of laundry and garbage just to the futon and beds. A little maze.
Just a goat path.
Yeah.
How about the messy car person? I've seen a couple of doozies.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Come on.
My wife, again, she's one of those.
Where there's just enough room to get your carcass into the driver's seat. There's an inch of dust on the dash, the cigarette ashtray. What other ashtray would there be? The ashtray is 6 inches above the limit. The empty fast food bags, the empty pop and beer cans. I guess it all goes back to... some say it's an anxiety thing. It's a, what's the other, you know where I'm going with this? It's
OCD?
OCD thing, yeah. God dang. I remember getting in one of my buddy's cars. We were going somewheres. Nice day. Windows down. And, of course, the wind blows in the vehicle and the ashtray.
Oh, no.
The ashes are blowing around and... I'm batting cigarette ash out of my face. The dude who's the owner of the messy car, he's just kicked back driving. It ain't no thing.
Yeah.
I'm over here eating. I'm eating the last 49 Marlboro Lights you smoked. Didn't even notice.
Yeah. He's gone blind to it.
HVAC Delivery Jesus said the amount of full water bottles he has in his front seat and floor is astounding.
You brought 2, you only drank 1. You kick it down to the floor of the vehicle. So there you go. Messiness can kill romance. Doing chores can be attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Sorry, that was the gas talking right there. Over half of people say watching their partner doing the dishes and such gets them started down there. I'm a chores guy. I push vacuums around. I wipe countertops. That's what I do.
Oh, back to bathrooms, especially guys' bathrooms when you're living by yourself or living with a dude roommate. After I got divorced and I was living off by myself, and a girl I liked was coming over, and my best friend Kelly, she gave me some advice. She goes, Dana, go clean your bathroom, and when you think it's spotless, clean it some more.
Mm-hmm.
Got it, yeah, and a couple extra wipes.
Yes.
Give it one more run just for the pubes.
93X, the home of the half-assed morning show.
Yeah, that's us. We're going to pop and lock our way out of this nightmare right quick. But before we get her done, how about we look into a few more text messages that have been sent our way? Thank you for reminding us. The reason I brought up our bobblehead dolls a few minutes ago, a listener sent Josh and I our own personal bobblehead, and they look a hell of a lot like us. Very well done. The reason I brought it up 15, 20 minutes ago is I was going to ask you, Cubby, do you think that's something or another we could put up on the website?
I would think we could, yeah.
We appreciate you texting in.
To it.
You don't want it up on the website?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but when a picture of me is put up on the website by our promotions department, who's obviously upset with me for the photos they put up there, I take a little heat, but we'll put it up there. You're right, some folks have texted in and said they'd like to see these things.
We will. Thank you for reminding us. As soon as the show's over, we'll have someone point a camera at these Nick and Josh bobblehead dolls, and we'll put them up on 93x.com. Skis. Wonderful gift sent to the radio station by a listener, and we encourage that.
Stop.
Or you could just Venmo us if you want to eliminate the middleman.
I suppose you could send us money.
Yeah.
If you have money. So, yeah, we encourage more gifts sent this way. Listener texted in. Josh texted in a picture of a T-shirt they saw at Goodwill. They wanted to buy it for me, but the listener says, my daughter wouldn't let me. And the T-shirt, thank God for your daughter. She made the right call. Josh, the T-shirt this listener was going to buy for me had a simple message on the front. And it said, if she don't hock to her, I don't talk to her. You would have to put a samurai sword and a Civil War cannon. You would have to point those two weapons out, at my head to get me to pull that T-shirt over the top of my noggin. You would need a samurai sword and a Civil War cannon to threaten me into wearing that T-shirt in public.
I'm picturing the guy with the samurai sword. He's holding it above his head, and then he points it straight forward to tell the guy with the Civil War cannon, time to fire. I got to admit, that shirt.
He lowers it just like in the movies.
Yep.
Fire!
That's hilarious. There was a guy, I can't believe we forgot to bring this up. There was a very beautiful woman. She was there with her husband, and she was dressed to the nines.
Where was this?
This is on the boat.
Oh, the boat.
She looked great. And her husband had a shirt on that said, I think this is exactly what it said, I have diarrhea and a boner.
Yeah.
I remember that guy.
And, you could see she's like, okay, he's getting a lot of attention for it. People do enjoy the shirt. But she's like, look, I went through all this trouble to dress up. And this is what he wore.
That's one of the worst T-shirts I've ever seen. It was disgusting.
I've never had that combination, thank goodness.
It's a tough combo. which one do you deal with first?
And he mentioned his boss got it for him.
Even better.
Yeah.
The attitude T-shirts, including, if she don't hock to her, I don't talk to her.
Speaking of the Hawk Tua girl, Nick, you've long advocated to shut down social media altogether.
Did she pass away?
No, not that I know of.
Okay.
But a buddy of mine, about 10 months ago, a year ago or so, he just quit it all cold turkey. Just no social media for him whatsoever.
Did he go online and warn everybody that he's retiring from social media?
No, he wasn't that douchebag. But we were hanging out recently, and somebody made like a Hawk Tua reference. And he's like, what's that?
Even now, he doesn't know. I'm not on social media, and I'm very much aware of that.
No, he had no idea. He was like, Hawk Tua, is that like the wrestler Hawk from the Road War? Like, what's a Hawk Tua? And he had no idea. I'm like, how great would it be to just be so blissfully unaware of something so stupid?
That's something right there. He cut her down. He shut it off. He quit cold turkey, you say.
Mm-hmm.
We had a conversation a few minutes ago about messy people, not only their homes, but their motor vehicles. Now, a listener texted in. I was wondering if you knew anything about this. Listener says, I heard the messier a woman's car is, the freakier they are in bed.
Boy, I don't know.
I don't know. Think about the freakiest partner you ever had, Cubby. What did their motor vehicle look like on the inside, Skis?
I guess I can't correlate the two. I wonder if that's
true. Are you picturing the freakiest gal you ever had in bed?
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
but you can't think...
nothing's ever been that freaky, so I'm trying to think if there's anything... specific. Well,
I suppose I'm asking the wrong guy. You don't.
I can think of the freakiest now, but I don't think she owned a car.
You try not. You don't think she owned a car?
I don't think so.
You try not to let things get too freaky.
No. It should never be freaky.
Fairly
it's gross,
standard.
It's guilt-ridden.
Yes.
Should only be for procreation and only when you're married.
We also had a conversation about MILFs earlier. Well, we were talking about a player for the Detroit, what do they call that football team?
The Lions.
Lions. A player for the Detroit Lions, Hutchinson is the last name. NFL dorks are touching themselves over this Hutchinson player's mother. Her mother, his mother was shown on television the other night on Monday Night Football, and she's slinging quite a bit of heat. And so this is the new thing that NFL fans are obsessed with, this Hutchinson kid's mother. Go ahead, look it up. A listener texted in and said, my son asked me one day recently, what does MILF mean? And I said to him, well, it's when people think mom is really pretty. And my son said, yeah, that's what I thought.
I'll tell you, last year.
That's great.
When my son was in 7th grade, none of the boys would let their moms volunteer for anything. And I had asked him, I'm like, are you embarrassed or what's the thing? He's like, no, because of your mom jokes. None of us want to go through it. And I guess they learned, in 6th grade, it's brutal. So no moms were allowed on field trips or anything like that by the kids. They would ask the dad or just prayed they didn't volunteer.
The MILF jokes and the hot mom jokes were just too much for
anybody. It was too much. They all basically agreed, all right, we just won't ask our moms. Truce.
I only encountered that kind of thing once, and it was only 10 or so years ago, somewhere in that neighborhood. When we had the conversation earlier, I mentioned that I had a couple pals growing up whose mothers were very attractive, and we busted a lot of balls over that. We were relentless in busting chops. Never had any of my friends say word one about my mother. Until about 10 years ago or so, I'm sitting at the bar. Now, it wasn't one of my friends. I was sitting next to an old-timer.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone now, unfortunately. But sitting next to this guy, he had a couple of operations over the years to where his voice was pretty much his voice right here. That's about how he came off, And my mom and dad walked into the bar. And this old-timer sitting next to me was very familiar with my dad from drinking at this bar for so many years. He had never seen my mother before. And this old 75-year-old man turns to me and says, now I kind of understand why your dad never brought your mom in here. She's pretty effing hot. And I said, for Christ's sake, I'm trying to enjoy myself over here.
Your mom is very pretty.
Well,
she
I will be on the telephone with her later today, and I'll tell her you said that.
Oh, don't tell her. I'll be embarrassed.
What do you mean?
She is very pretty, for sure.
I'm going to send her a picture of your bobblehead. Oh, God.
Your sister? My word.
You keep your hands off all the women in my family, will you?
What a specimen. No, I'm not hitting on your mom, but your sister. Hubba.
Jesus Christ.
To say the least. Happy birthday to Bearded Organic Farmer Jesus. Hope you have an awesome one. Got a text from someone here wishing their amazing and beautiful stepdaughter, Chloe, a happy belated birthday. Congratulations to St. Paul Jesus 85. He's got some time off, getting ready to marry his beautiful fiancée, Kelsey, this Saturday. Then it's off to Mexico Monday for a honeymoon fiesta.
Oh, my God.
Dishwasher Dude Jesus would like to congratulate his beautiful girlfriend on her new promotion. That's awesome. And remember, it would hurt our feelings if you're not back with us again tomorrow. So please, guilt listen, if nothing else, and have a spectacular Wednesday.
You're listening to the radio. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey, podcast pals. Dana here to give you a friendly reminder that now is the best time to get your furnace tuned up before we take a shot to the face with cold Minnesota weather. My pals at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning currently have same-day and next-day openings, but they won't last long. By the time October rolls around, if your furnace craps out, you'll be freezing your private parts off while dealing with side eye from your significant other and pets for not calling sooner. So give Standard Heating and Air Conditioning a call today. Check this out. You can save up to $70 on your tune-up with Standard Heating. Visit standardheating.com. That's standardheating.com to book today.